start. Oh wait, I don't want to. So now we're starting streaming, and with everything, with luck, we should hear something coming out of the speakers in a bit. I hear nothing. So you're allegedly receiving.
You are live.
It says we're live, but do you hear anything coming out of this? I hear nothing. Oh, okay. I guess it is working. All right, it's good. So let's turn this down. So let me post on Twitter.
Tweet it.
Let's see. Starting to record. Wow, this is really slow. Podcast episodes.
Afternoon
live stream. Record episodes of. I can show my screen of the Unnamed Podcast with @Sid Caesar.
Yeah. Love that guy.
Watch live. Watch on YouTube at davidsay.com/live. Okay, it's been announced. I guess I will do it, right? Also, make an announcement if you wish. Look, there's already 2 people watching. The hell. For once, YouTube notified Eric that started himself 5 minutes. Dude, how's it going? Eric's he lives in Concord. He's an interactive designer.
Oh.
He's the guy who made those escape room games. We should look at that.
Oh.
What's his website?
Hello in Concord.
Was it Naughty Cat Games? Snappy Cat Games? Eric, what was the name of your website? Strange Delay? Strange Cat View? Yeah, there's a delay. Yeah, there's probably a delay in about 30 seconds, I think, when we're recording.
Is that in case I make dirty language?
No, I don't know. No, I don't know. It's just like the encoding delay, I think.
Oh.
What's the name? Snappy Sparky Cat? Eric, I can't remember the name of your website. Sparkle Cat, maybe? It's something cat, I think.
Sparkle Cat.
Is that?
Is that it?
No, it's what's the name of his escape room? Eric found. I spelled Vaughn wrong. Oh, look, it corrected it.
Is this what you wanted?
Strange Magic. That's the name of this game.
There's nothing to do with cats at all.
I thought it was Sparkle.
Cats
Cat
on
or
the brain?
something like that. There's an Instagram thing. Where is it? Everything is getting slowed up. Startle Cat. Okay. StartleCat.com.
That's great.
Yeah. So we can talk about this. This is pretty cool, actually. Like, so you know what an escape room is, right?
Yep.
So he made a interactive game on it. So he did all the graphics. He bought some assets, but rendered everything, wrote all the code, learned how to use Unity. And so you unlock these things.
Oh, wow.
It was pretty slick. So we should share that because we're sharing the work of people that we know, work that we know and love. So that would be cool. All right. So I guess we're starting. I need to get Start Reason going. You remember how this works?
Yeah. There's a joke in there about not understanding reason, but
yeah. Okay. So the first. So the first episode we'll record is I guess figuring out what we're going to talk about.
we'll just catch up.
We'll just catch up. Okay, here we go.
In a couple of weeks.
That's true. Okay. So we are recording now, and I need to actually start this thing going. Let's hope it works.
Welcome to the podcast. I am photographer Sid Caesar.
And I'm designer Dave Seah.
And welcome on this lovely Wednesday afternoon, March 21st.
Excellent.
The first day of spring.
Yes.
With all the snow out on the ground. And I think we're actually supposed to get more snow later on today.
Yep.
That's what they were saying.
Really?
Yeah. Something about that. Our music isn't fading.
That's right. It's not fading. Why is that? Do we have to start? No, it is fading. It's just...
That's a weird fade. It's never faded out that long before.
Sure?
I think so. Or maybe the...
No, it's. I think our voices aren't as loud as we're used to having them. So maybe that's a little bit better.
Okay,
you should be able to hear this in the background, so it should be recording fine.
Oh, and then it completely fades out?
It's always done this.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe the sound mic is turned up too loud.
It sounds kind of loud there. It looks like it is coming through
It's pretty loud in my headphones.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
But first day of spring, winter is officially over. Officially over.
Is it today? Today is the
March 21st is the vernal equinox.
Yeah.
Is that what they call it?
The vernal equinox.
Is that it? Hey, Vern. It's me, spring.
So the vernal equinox is when? Like the sun is closest, or it's like the shortest day or the longest day? And the days start getting longer now?
Yeah, isn't it today is the
length of the day.
Day and night is of equal length. Yeah, that's what she said. I have been watching speaking of that, I've never seen The Office before.
Really?
The U.S. version. And I've started watching The Office, and I must say right now, here and then, I am completely obsessed with Jim and Pam.
Really? Why?
Oh, my God.
So remind us what the premise. The Office is that sitcom that's based on the British.
It's based on a British version of. It's like a live camera. This is documentary thing of office workers.
Right. This is the one that Steve Carell was kind of launching.
Yes.
Point, right.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's just these two characters. Pam is the receptionist for Dunder Mifflin. They're a paper company, and Jim is just one of the salespeople. And I am completely obsessed with their.
Are you shipping them?
Relationship. Am I what?
Are you shipping them?
What does that mean?
Oh, you know, this is a. I don't know if this is an anime thing, but it's a. When you're watching a show for the first time and you say those characters should be together, they should be in a relationship.
They just have such good chemistry, and their relationship just seems so real.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I like, but I don't like because I wish it was longer, is just sort of the brevity that they spend on each of the characters. So like you get to know who they are, but they don't spend. But they're just, oh my God, they're so meant for each other. they're just so perfect, and they're cute, and they interact so well together, and. So that's it. So when I get up in the morning, Sarah goes to work, and then I sit down with the cats and I have breakfast, and usually I watch an episode while I'm eating breakfast. Mm-hmm. And I am just completely, oh my God. I'm going to tear up just thinking about the two of them.
I've only seen spot episodes
just so
of
beautiful.
This,
so beautiful.
I don't know what I'm missing.
It's just so beautiful.
It's beyond words.
It is. It is. I was watching, I don't even know what season I'm up to now. I think I'm up to the end of the third season.
Yeah.
And they did this whole retreat at a fake beach, and she's always been kind of mousy, and she doesn't like to speak up.
Yeah.
And everybody was trying to do the walk across the coals thing. Like it's long and involving, but there was a thing of coals on fire, and they were all going to try to walk across to sort of like prove who could like manage the office if Steve Carell's character ever left. And they all like went around and they laughed, and they were a little ways away from the coal thing, and Pam was just the only one there, and she was just like, she ran across it, and she just felt really good about it, and so she came over and she just started speaking very honestly to the group, and she was just like, I'm going to say a bunch of stuff that I haven't said in a long time. And then she just kind of started with Jim and talking about Jim and how much she misses him, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't deal with it.
Can't do.
Yes, it was very sweet.
Okay.
So that's it, Jim and Pam.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome. Let's see, in terms of TV I've watched, did I mention I watched Altered Carbon? Maybe not.
I don't remember.
No. So Altered Carbon is that
it's like a
Netflix, right? Yeah,
okay.
It's I guess it's based on a book. I forget who wrote it, but it's one of those cyberpunk sci-fi stories. I remember enjoying it. I don't remember exactly what happened. There were some good moments in it where some nice visualization. Mm-hmm. It felt cyberpunky. It was like they could finally show all the stuff that you would see in a book like Neuromancer. Except it didn't look all chintzy and crappy. It wasn't. So the premise is that there's this alien technology. They don't go too much into the aliens, but there's this disc that gets inserted between your brain and your spine, and it basically records your consciousness
Oh.
from moment to moment. So, and you can transfer consciousnesses between bodies that have this thing in it.
Okay.
And so, like, a lot of people have these things, but if you get shot there, then you die, and then it also kind of grants you essentially immortality. So the very wealthy are able to like live in multiple bodies across hundreds of years.
I see.
And then there's, I guess, there's some social commentary about
Damn rich people.
Wealthy. Hey, like, don't you want to be rich someday? Adequately wealthy.
I just want to be happy.
Okay. Yeah, we're talking to that.
I just want to be happy.
Yeah. It was all right. I remember liking it, but
we started something, and I can't remember. We watched like 2 episodes, and then we were like, let's move on to something else. And it was some sort of sci-fi short thing. We watched 2 of them. I can't remember what it was called.
But Eric in the chat room is saying, "Has either of us watched Black Mirror?"
No, is that? There's I've heard of that, and then there's Altered Carbon, and then is there another one, another sci-fi series?
On Amazon Prime.
We started watching one, and we got 2 episodes in, and I can only remember one of them was like, it had something to do with points, and you acquired points, and he worked at this thing where he was on an exercise bike, and then I don't remember, and I can't remember if that was Black Mirror or if that was Altered Carbon. Is Altered Carbon like a episodic series, but it's all continuation episode after episode?
It's an episodic
Okay, so maybe it was Black Mirror then.
I think Black Mirror. I've seen one episode of Black Mirror. It was that one with the
and I think
the USS Caldor or something like that.
I don't remember.
It kind of is like a Twilight Zone type show.
Okay, that might be what we start. Yeah, because I think the first one was like it was like a U.S. It was a British Prime Minister, and somebody had kidnapped some pop star, and then they wanted him to like have sex with a pig or a goat or something like that on national TV. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that must yeah. So we got those 2 episodes in, and then we were like, I don't know. I was having a hard time with it. Oh, did you use that your notes?
Yeah, there's all these movies coming out that I haven't seen yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't seen Black Panther yet. You've seen it though.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
So no.
It's. I think it was the hype surrounding it was a little too much.
Yeah.
As far as a Marvel Universe movie, it was sort of like middle of the pack.
It was just okay.
Yeah, it was just okay.
So people really like it for its representation.
I think there's other reasons why it's doing it. I don't know. See, like I feel weird talking about it like that.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to analyze it just for the actual story, which was just another. I don't know. I just wasn't.
I kind of feel that way about all Marvel movies. I haven't gone really seen.
Some of it was pretty good. The ending I had a hard time with because it kind of felt like it turned into Tron. Like towards the end, like you got these 2 dudes in glowy suits, and one's glowing orange and one's and I was like, okay, we're like it's. And again, they sort of fall back on the last act relies heavily on over CG. There's just all kinds of CG stuff going on, and that's when you sort of check out. I'm like, okay, I'm done with computer graphics, and so it was okay. It wasn't anything super amazing. I don't know, but I'm also getting really burnt out on superhero movies. Like,
I've been getting burned out on a lot of entertaining things. Like, I'm kind of burned out on games right now. Like, I can't really stand to see another blockbuster game and sit through 15 to 20 hour single player mission or get online and shoot people in the head. I'm bored.
Really?
Bored.
I got sucked into The Division again. I've been playing that, and that's very hypnotic. And then I got the Shadow of the Colossus remaster, which I got about halfway through, and then I got sucked back into The Division, so I need to pick that up again. I picked up, what did I just get in a trade? I just got that Monster Hunter game.
Oh, how's it?
I can't get into it at all.
Really? Is it too much work?
I did the setup menu, like the character creation thing, which was awesome. Yeah. But it was more awesome because you get to pick your little cat person and you get to decorate your little cat person. Uh-huh. And then I went through, well, first of all, there's you create your little character and then it launches you into the game, and there's a lot of information that they throw at you on screen. And the text is so small. Like I was really having a hard time reading what was going on. Oh. So that kind of lost me. I was like, this is just way too involving for somebody that's just not into the RPG kind of stuff. And then the first little mission to sort of get you, I don't know, it felt kind of clunky.
Are we getting old?
No, because I can still get sucked into other stuff, but Yeah, so I traded the last Call of Duty game, the World War II game. I traded it for that. I was like, oh, it's a fair trade. And it came in the mail, and I was all excited because I was like, oh, little cats. I love the whole idea of the cat thing. I got completely sucked into. Mm-hmm. But I played that first mission, and then I'm just like, go back to the Division. Like, I'm going to put that back in.
So what is it about the Division that you enjoy doing in that?
It's
because you're max level by now, right? So you're just doing daily missions?
Yeah, I'm basically just repeating the same. I'm doing matchmaking missions like repeatedly. I've been doing the not the hardest difficulty, but the second hardest difficulty. So it's like easy, medium, hard, and then there's like I forget what they call it, challenging or something. So I've been doing hard, and that's kind of fun because it's especially when you play with 3 other people and like someone's constantly always getting killed and you got to run over and help them and stuff like that. So that's a little challenge. I like it because it's the complete. It's like that game and Destiny. Yeah, they're the perfect like bullet sponge games. And like when I want fantasy, I can play Destiny, and you still got these bullet spongy kind of things, and you got everything. But then when you want reality-based bullet sponge games, you can go to the Division. And I really like the setting of the Division.
It's a good looking.
I love the environment is gorgeous, and I could just walk around that environment constantly. You know, like it feels like a real city, and they got everything really detailed and stuff. And I was playing it, and I was like, what would be the most perfect game if they released it? I'd pay almost like the full price of another game. If
almost the full price.
They took the Division environment, the wrecked up New York City, and they just put zombies in it.
Isn't there a zombie mode for the Division? Or
no, there is not.
One for every single game.
I saw there's one that just came out for Rainbow Six Siege. That other.
Oh yeah, the Outbreak.
One. Yeah. But if they took and like just have like slow lurking zombies that just like you running down to the middle of New York City and you turn a corner and there's an alleyway and they just have a bunch of zombies come after you. Like that would be perfect. So you can climb up buildings, to get away from them. And oh my god, that would be amazing.
So zombies are kind of like a hobby for you. It's like you innately enjoy.
I do. Well, I would like them in that, and like that environment is so set for that. Like it's already post-apocalyptic and everything is just gone to complete waste, and it's beautiful.
So you wouldn't zombies in the forest? Not exciting. Zombies in Star Wars on a Death Star? No. Not exciting.
If it was a
Stormtrooper zombies,
densely thick forest, possibly.
Yeah.
Like I like the whole zombie theme, but if you could take them and put them in a really good environment, like a lot of the zombie games up to this point, they're just.
Yeah. What's the best zombie game you've played?
What is the best zombie game I've played? I don't know.
So how many zombie games do you think?
I think it's probably. I'm so numb by the amount of zombie games that are out there.
There was a zombie mode in Red Dead Redemption.
Yes,
right?
that was pretty good.
That was good.
I like how you could pick up pieces of dead zombie and put them in your blunderbuss and shoot parts out. Yeah. I don't know.
How about zombie movies? Do you still enjoy zombie movies?
Yes.
I got tired of zombies like 5 or 6 years ago.
No, don't say that.
I just couldn't. I never watched The Walking Dead because I was not interested in it.
Yeah.
So it's like, more zombies.
Well,
I think the last movie was 28 Days Later, or the one that goes after that? That was the last movie.
28 weeks later?
Something like that. It's like,
I've been picking up all the original George Romero Day of the Dead movies.
Really? Huh.
We watched the very first one, Night of the Living Dead, and then we watched Dawn of the Dead, which was the 1978 one.
Yeah, those are the classic zombie
those
movies,
were like
right?
That's what started that was what, and then there was a 1985 Day of the Dead, which I picked up, and that's a Romero, and then I have a couple of other ones that were after that are still Romero, but we're trying to go in order just to sort of. But we saw the first two, and then I want to watch Day of the Dead. We haven't watched Day of the Dead because Sarah hasn't been in a zombie mode lately. She's like, yeah. And then the one good zombie show that came out in the UK a long time ago was it's called Dead Set. And it's kind of the fast zombies.
Oh, okay.
And the premise is it takes place on the television set of Big Brother, the UK version of Big Brother. So they take these people. This is awesome. So they take these people, and it's the people that are living in this closed environment thing. So while they're inside that environment, a zombie outbreak happens, and they don't know it. They're not aware of it.
Together, or you showed it to
I don't know. We might have. Jen O'Callaghan got me into it. She's like, "You have to see this," and I was like, "Really?"
Yeah. Huh.
So and it's like a 4-hour like extended movie / miniseries kind of thing.
I haven't seen that.
And it's so fascinating. It's awesome because it's like they like when it first happens they have no clue because they're completely isolated from outside.
I don't know. All the movies run together for me.
Yeah, there's a lot of zombie stuff going on out there in the world.
Yeah.
But I just love it. Just love it.
Yeah,
Walking Dead, I like the comics better than I like the show.
Didn't you used to get into it in the first season or so? Or
We watch it. We don't watch it. We don't watch the TV broadcast. We usually buy the season sets and then we'll binge them and everything. But it's just, the show is just so terribly written, especially the last couple of seasons.
Oh, really?
It's just like, somebody please fire the writers and get decent. Like, they'll literally, like, all they do now is like they do something and then their dialogue is they repeat to you what their action just was.
Ugh.
Like, who's writing this show? Like, we are not that dumb.
Speaking of terribly written shows, I finished watching Dark Matter. So this Dark Matter was a sci-fi show. It's 3 seasons. They just canceled it, I think, last year or this year.
Yep.
But it's one of those space cowboy, or it's a space show that you watch it and go like, this is derivative of every other single space show I've seen. So it's derivative. At the first, it's derivative of Firefly. So you've got but there are there are a bunch. The crew members are a bunch of badass mercenaries who've lost their memory, and they're escaping from. And they're on the other side of the law, which is the Galactic Combine or something like that.
Yep.
And then there's the Jane mercenary person, then there's the tough girl captain, and then there's the little wafy tech girl, and then there's like the big-hearted black dude, and then there's so you're watching this thing and you're going like, this is gonna be terrible. But my friend, Alan Yen, our friend Alan, he said, like, you should watch this because you just let me know what you think. So I watch it, and it was surprisingly, the first episode was surprisingly good enough to go, that wasn't so terrible. I would like to see what happens next. And so then I started getting into it, and by the 5th or 6th episode, I was going, okay, this is kind of going someplace. And so I kept watching it until around the 3rd season. It suddenly started getting terrible. What I really liked, and what Alan agrees with me also, is like we really like the characters. You know, so even though the characters at first seem like, oh, these are derivative cookie cutter characters, they inhabit the roles really well.
Okay.
And you know, there's a lot of interesting. There's some interesting sci-fi concepts. Like it's got a bit of everything. You know, it has. Well, it starts to turn and feel like Babylon 5 at the end. Oh. Like with the shadows, you know, that kind of stuff is going on.
No.
There's aliens, and then there's androids. The androids are cool, and then the androids are developing free will, and then there's rebellion, and then there's like the underground, then there's the evil corporations vying for control of the galaxy, and then there's the Galactic Combine that's trying to keep a lid on things, but they're evil or they're corrupted, but some people are good, and so by the end of it, it's like, I wonder if they knew they were under threat of cancellation. They just start throwing everything in every script. And I got to the point when I was just going like, you know what? At some places, I no longer care what happens because it seems like we're just getting jerked around. There's a mirror universe, and the mirror versions of the crew were popping up, and you didn't know who was a mirror person or who was another person. I was like, you know, I don't really care anymore. Just make. And then when the last episode I saw was canceled, they built up this giant cliffhanger. They'd introduced 5 or 6 different plot points, you know, at the end of it. So like, who's Croydon? Who are the black ships? Like, you know, what does this mean? How about that thing? What about this rebellion? And it's like, you know what, you can.
Did they tie it up, or
no? Well, it was the last season, so there was never a follow-up season for it. And then they tore down the sets, and you know, it's gone. And it was like, you know, I don't really care because I know you're just doing this to jerk me around to get me to watch the next episode. Right. And thankfully, there are no more.
Right.
But I still have a soft spot for the characters. You know, so that's kind of how I feel about it.
How do we bring that screen up so we can see what he's?
Oh, can you not see that?
No.
Let me expandify this. Where's my? There, can you see that? So Eric Vaughn is watching us in the live stream.
Oh, see, he was asking stuff. No, I have never seen the UK version. I've seen one episode.
UK version of The Office.
Of The Office.
Yep.
Yeah, and I forgot that guy's name. The main guy there. He's always got that funny laugh. What's his name? Oh, I can't remember his name.
I know who you're talking about. But it's like he's that other comedian, the British comedian.
Yes.
Right?
But no, I had never seen any of it, and then I was just like, I like Steve Carell, so I
he's
was
his
like,
own thing, you know.
He is.
Steve Carell. He has his. He's like Michael Cera. He has this kind of his persona.
Oh, he's much better than Michael Cera.
Well, you know, but you know, like it's you know. not quite a character actor, but he has a certain way of delivery.
But he was really good in Dan in Real Life. I like that. Oh, I really like that movie.
So who was in that?
It was him and...
Was Carol or Sarah?
Huh?
Which actor are you talking about?
Steve Carell.
Okay.
He was really good in that. That was kind of a little dramatic kind of thing. But
he played a serious role in it, or
a bit of both. His typical kind of Steve Carell humor.
Yeah.
Carell. And
Clooney.
But that was good. We usually watch that once every 6 months or something. It's like one of our guilty pleasure. Like, it just feels good. Feel good, romantic kind of.
That's exciting.
And
look.
Eric that's right. Martin Freeman was in that.
The dynamic between Martin Freeman and the UK Pam is quite moving. Martin Freeman. That's Bill
Frodo Baggins.
Yeah, and Watson.
Dr. Watson from Sherlock and everything. He's everywhere
right?
and all things.
Yeah.
I don't know if my heart could take another. Like, I'm going through Jim and Pam, and I don't know if I could go through that all over again.
So they're just the sweetest couple ever.
They're just, oh my god, they're so
the sweetest ever. You can't. They're
so like, oh, just hurry up and get together. Like, they just.
Do they not ever get together?
They did. They did. Spoiler alert, at the beginning of season 4, they finally, the end of season 3. So the ones I was just been watching the last couple of days, they finally get together. And right now they're dating, but they're trying to hide it from everybody.
Oh, okay. That's still entertaining.
Yeah.
Is The Office still ongoing?
No, it did 9 seasons, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah. A lot of people, I guess, I don't know. I'm trying not to read up too much about it so that I don't know.
Yeah.
What's going on, but
I guess this is a movie episode. We just need to get all this stuff out. Wrinkle in Time. Are you planning on seeing it? I have not seen it.
No, mainly because Sarah was so not into the trailer. Like she was. I guess she's read the book and she likes the book, and she's just like, this is not the book at all.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So yeah, Tomb Raider.
New Tomb Raider.
It looks like the game. Like, I feel like I've played that movie.
Yeah.
And it looks like they used the first relaunch game that came out in 2016 as the premise of this movie. So that's weird. So
2013 was the first one.
2013, yeah. So I don't know. Okay, really good games, but I don't know if I want to sit through what I played.
Yeah. You know,
I don't know.
In Pacific Rim, there's another one, right?
Yeah, it's got the kid from Star Wars in it. John Boyega.
Yeah. I like John Boyega.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't feel drawn to see it. These are movies that I should want to see. That's how I feel about it. But I don't want to see them. It's like, I got movie culture's fatigue.
There is stuff coming out, though, that I do. Shape of Water, which I missed in the theater, which made me upset because I really wanted to see that. In fact, the day we went to see Black Panther, it was a toss-up between that and Shape of Water. And Sarah was like, I really want to see Black Panther. And then after we watched Black Panther, she was like, we should have gone and seen Shape of Water. Yeah. But I want to see that. But that's coming out on video like next week.
Oh, wow. So soon.
And then the one I really want to see is the new Wes Anderson, that stop-motion one about dogs.
What's it called?
It is called. What's it called? It's called something Isle of Dogs.
Isle of Dogs.
Yes.
Wes Anderson.
Yes, and that looks amazing.
I still haven't watched The Fantastic Mr. Fox yet.
Oh.
So Sid gave me this DVD I don't know how many years ago.
It's so good.
Kenta is here. Hey, Kenta Koga.
Kenta Koga.
It's been a while since we've been invoking his name like regularly.
I know. That's right. We have been remiss in that.
So Kenta Koga just spoke in the chat room, and he is expressing an unpopular opinion that Black Panther was overrated.
It was.
So you can go fight yourselves now, like whoever's. I haven't seen it, so I have no opinion on it.
Okay, so the dude that played the bad guy, the guy that comes back into Wakanda there, the brother, I don't want to spoil too much junk, but he plays like the main bad guy. Like, I just could not get into him. I couldn't get into his acting. Like, it was just, there's something about him I just could not get into. And but yeah, I thought it was just, I think the movie's been built up for other reasons, other good reasons. But the actual movie itself was, it felt like every other Marvel movie. you know.
I feel I should see it just to see what people are talking about for a representation, because I think that's cool. If there was like an all Asian like Marvel movie or something like that, I'd totally go see that.
Right.
And let's see if they screwed it up.
They did have a dude with a giant lip plate. That was pretty awesome.
A lip plate?
Yes.
What's a lip plate?
It's like that big saucer that they have inside their mouth that like, and their lip grows around it. You've never seen right,
like
one of those big things.
Yeah.
And he was totally pimping because he had like these great green, shiny green suits on and everything. I was like, I want to see more of the lip plate guy. He's pretty cool. But yeah, there was some like traditional, like the costumes were nice. The costumes that the extra characters wore, like all the royal costumes and stuff.
Eric Vaughn says like, "How dare you!" But yeah.
But it's, I don't know, like the Marvel universe is awesome because of they've found that balance of humor and like they just get it. Like we watched the new Spider-Man movie there, the little Homecoming one.
Yeah,
it was really good, and I liked little Spider-Man. He was great, and it has that whole kind of Marvel stuff. But it's cool that they've figured out how the universe is, which is good. But there's just so much of it, like. So much. And I'm like, and I never thought I would say that because I'm a comic book kid, like growing up, man, like that was my thing. And like back then it was like we had superpowers figures and every once in a while like there was a really bad made for TV thing that would come on. It was like, ugh.
Yeah.
So this is like my 12-year-old self is just completely freaking out. Like this, it's amazing.
You know what it is? You know how like when you're a kid and an adult tells you there's got to be a time that comes along when sugar isn't going to taste as good to you anymore. You go, no! No. Why do you lie to me? Why do you try to upset me? And then they go like, yeah, sugar.
No, but it's still good though.
Sugar is still good, but you don't want as much of it anymore.
Well, yeah.
You want.
Or they'll say there's a period where if you have too much sugar, it'll kill you.
Yeah. That we should talk about in the next podcast. Like, I've been fighting this brain fog thing.
Yeah.
But it finally occurred to me that you know what. Maybe that's diabetes. Because I was thinking about people who have diabetes, and you hear the story about like someone who's on a sugar crash and they're crawling toward like their insulin shot thing.
Yeah.
But they need blood sugar desperate because they've crashed.
Yeah.
And I was like, having an experience like that over the weekend.
Yeah.
I was just like feeling really listless and lethargic. So why can't I make myself do anything? Why can't I focus? Why can't I put two thoughts together and follow through with something that I think I want to do, but I can't seem to muster the energy for it. So, maybe it's diabetes. Maybe it's not executive function.
You should go have a blood test and.
Well, I have a regular doctor, right? So I'm between those things. But I had been eating really badly because I was sick.
Oh, right.
Before that, I was on. I kind of had forgotten. Like I was on the low carb diet before, and I was like feeling pretty good and losing weight and stuff.
Yep.
Then Dad came and visited in last October. And so I kind of went off the diet, and then I never went back on it. Because, like, that's the holidays. There's Thanksgiving, and then there's Christmas.
Yep.
And then I got sick 2 or 3 times this year already.
Yep.
And then says, I'm sick. This is an excuse to make curry and eat rice. And so, like, I stopped doing that. And that's my brain fog is gone again. So it's thinking, all right. And that's a reason to do it. So I have my clarity of mind. We can talk about it on the list one.
Right.
But we're getting close to the end of this.
We should keep talking about movies in the next one because Kenta brought up Ready Player One, which is
yes.
So,
Ready Player One.
Yeah, we'll take a station identification break and then we will start our second podcast.
Okay, that sounds
continuing with movies.
Yeah, let's see other movies. That's it. Okay, I'm designer Dave Seah.
Hi, I'm photographer Sid Caesar, and we will see everybody next time. And this is really loud. Oh my God, that's so loud.
That is super loud.
That is really loud. That is really loud.
Well, at least it's not recording here.
Huh?
What I was concerned about is like the music is not feeding back into the recording track, which is what it used to be doing before.
Music provided by Michael Bellar and the As Is Ensemble. Visit him at michaelbellar.com.
Yeah.
Hi, Michael. And stick around for the live cast. We're going to keep going. For those who listen to the podcast, we will see you next week.
Bye. Okay, one in the bag. Save as
30-minute podcasts.
Yeah, I know. Just like poop these things out. Can we say poop on YouTube?
I'm not saying it's bad, but as far as overall rating in Marvel or DC movies, it's no Iron Man 1 or the first Guardians. We're talking about Black Panther. It's
How's Olivia Cook? Are they talking? What are they talking about?
They're talking about movies. We have to bring that screen up so we can actually like see it. Yeah, I don't know. Black Panther was.
They screwed this up.
It was just what?
I was just wondering if
it was okay. It wasn't. It was. There was other Marvel movies that have come out that are a lot better, but it's. I haven't seen the Thor movies, including the latest one, and I feel that I have to watch the first two in order to watch the third one. So, but I've heard a lot of things saying that the first two Thor movies are kind of drags. And I'm trying to remember what else. I've seen all the Iron Mans, and I've seen all the Captain Americas, and I've seen the Avengers, and we saw Doctor Strange, and the Guardians movies. There's a lot. And Black Panther, I don't even remember. There's so many out there, I don't even remember. We've seen a majority of them.
Yeah.
And I liked the third. Well, I think consecutively, I think the Captain America movies have all been really good, which is weird.
Yeah.
What's going on?
He has to go pick up his son. So.
Oh, don't say anything fun. Just stream it on your phone. Like, you can just put it on your phone and then keep your phone in your car.
You don't want to get into an accident.
No, he could just,
he'll be listening. He'll be laughing, and then he'll
dashboard.
He'll
be laughing.
He'll be laughing, and tears will be streaming out of his eyes, and then then his son will be concerned. He'll like, "Why are you crying, Dad?" And he says, "No, these guys are just so funny."
Yeah.
Not.
I liked Civil War. I thought Civil War was a good. Because that's the two guys that directed Civil War are doing the next two Avenger movie, the Infinity one. So I thought Civil War was a good. I think it was a test. I think that movie basically existed so that they could test out those directors with a large ensemble cast, which is why they had all the fighting and stuff going on with all those people. So I think they used it as a test to see whether or not they can actually direct that many stars in those kinds of scenes. And I think it went over well enough for Civil War that I think that the Infinity movies are going to be decent. I don't know. When I was growing up collecting comics, I was always a DC guy.
Yeah.
I collected Iron Man, and I didn't get too far into the Marvel universe and stuff. So there's a lot of stuff going on that I just don't know about. But DC is such a cluster train wreck going on with them. They just don't understand.
I heard they finally dumped Zack Snyder.
Oh my God. I remember, I don't even know why I went and saw it, the Green Lantern movie, because he's my guy. I've collected Green Lantern for my entire life, Hal Jordan all the way. And I just knew the minute I saw that first trailer, I was like, why am I even going to go see this movie? Like, I shouldn't go see it. It was like the same feeling I had when the fifth Indiana Jones came out, or Crystal Skull.
You should have known better.
Right. And it was just like, you see it and you're like, I have to see it out of obligation. Like I have to. Like I can't not go and see this because I'm so invested in the. And then it was, like I was watching the Green Lantern movie and I was just like, this is a piece of trash. Like literally, this is the guy that directed Casino Royale. Like this is what he. What? Oh, yeah, Martin Campbell. Like what?
Maybe it's screenwriters.
I don't know, but the DC universe. Holy crap! Like they just. Oh my God! Like Zach's. I don't know why they gave it to Zack Snyder. I don't understand. I do not understand why they gave it to Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder, the only thing Zack Snyder can do is he can take a graphic novel and he can use a graphic novel as a storyboard and he can film exactly what the graphic novel is. That's why 300 worked really well. Yeah. That's why The Watchmen worked really well. And I remember having this conversation with you. I'm like, when those movies were coming out, and I was like, if the next movie he does, if he doesn't do something original, then he's in trouble. And the movie that he did was Sucker Punch.
I had high hopes for Sucker Punch. It was like just ultimately left me feeling crawly.
Yes. It's every nerd thing like all wrapped into one. There's an underlying sense of like perv going on. Yep. It's like schoolgirls with swords and they're chopping up robots and they're shooting. I mean, it was everything. It was it was amazing. It was like a nerd's orgasm, the trailer, because it was just like they're throwing everything at this movie. But then when you saw it, there was actually nothing going on. But then there's that extra level of like, I feel a little dirty watching this, but that's okay because I felt like it was too much cramming of superheroes in a single movie.
Put this over here.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh, that was my favorite movie.
Scott Pilgrim.
That's one of my favorite movies.
It was, but there wasn't too much. I mean, because it was just that airport thing.
Airport
really
thing?
in Civil War.
Oh, okay.
Like with all the dude, but that was pretty awesome though.
So Kenta said, his honest opinion, best graphic novel to movie is
Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Edgar Wright did that, right?
Yes.
He's the guy that did awesome. Shaun of the Dead and
Baby Driver,
Hot Fuzz,
Fuzz.
Baby Driver. That's right.
Or it could be that Mary Elizabeth Winstead is super hot. Who's Elizabeth?
She was in. She was not Knives. She was Ramona Flowers. Is that her name?
Oh, really?
Is that his girlfriend's name?
Okay.
Right.
I don't know.
Yes. All I remember from that movie is Sex Bomb Bomb. 1, 2, 3, and they start playing the music really fast. Yeah, we have that.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was a weird movie.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. Like, it puts me in a good mood every time I watch it.
Yeah.
So you ready to do another one of these
Let's
things?
do another. I know. I just felt like we just did a whole one.
I
love it.
one. Okay, so all right, so we're gonna record the second one. All right, so we got 3 people watching us. That's kind of exciting.
Hi, 3 people.
Hello, 3 people. Let's rewind this all the way and guess, did I open last time or did you open? Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
All right. Welcome to the podcast. I'm designer Dave Seah.
And I am photographer and movie critic Sid Caesars.
Movie critics. We've been talking about movies, continuing from the last podcast that we're talking about. We've got a few people in the chat room. A big shout out to Eric Vaughn. A friend of mine is an interactive developer, game designer who makes escape room games of very high quality. Mm-hmm. And also Kenta Koga, another friend of ours, who is very discerning. I would say. He's one of our most discerning friends. He seems to have a cultured opinion on just about everything that matters to us. Oh. Movies, barbecue, how to fold a dumpling correctly, how finely to mince garlic. It is untapped reservoirs of knowledge in Kenta Koga's head that we have yet to...
We had him on the show, didn't we?
Did we? I think
a long
we did.
time
we need
ago.
to get him on the show again.
Yeah, it might be time to do an update.
He's got how many kids now? 5?
He's like 12.
12
I don't know. He had to build like a
that.
whole new little shed out in the back just to stuff them all into.
Yeah. He just got
a baby making machine.
Just said in the chat room he's got a new Weber 22 kettle.
Is that a grill?
I think so. Weber is a
well, you need to invite us over then for ribs and stuff.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. So let's see how to do them correctly. 2018 is the summer of charcoal. Doesn't that sound great? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So anyway, this is another glorious podcast. We are streaming this live on YouTube right now, which you'll be able to catch up later on and watch archives of this.
Yes. Do you like how when I do the links, it pops right in right when the each individual show starts?
I was like wondering how you wrote the show notes like so early, and then because I hadn't processed the podcast, I was like, oh, you watched
I just went through the stream
just to see what was going on with that. So I'm still learning how to do this. So
I liked that. I like doing this. I like that we've got a little bit of a we've been doing a pretty good job. Yeah.
Just for a variation, we'll continue the movie discussion a little bit. But while you're talking about it, let's see what
you doing with your camera over here.
I was going to just yank it out. There's a couple things you wanted to talk about.
Did you see that Boyle's going to direct the next James Bond movie?
That's what I was saying. Like Danny, what else is? I know I've heard the name before.
What?
But is it like a documentary maker or something like that?
Oh my god! He's like one of my favorite directors.
I know, but I can't. Don't think I've seen
Trainspotting.
Never saw it.
Slumdog Millionaire.
Did see it.
What was that 127 days? He did 28 Days Later.
Oh, did he do
the handheld? Yeah, the digital handheld. The first movie.
That was the zombie one.
Yeah. The runny guys. And,
okay.
Yeah. Oh. Shallow Grave. He made one of the best one of my favorite movies of all time. Shallow Grave was his first movie. It was the first movie that Ewan McGregor was in. That was the movie when you saw Ewan McGregor and you're like, he is going to be a movie star. That movie is awesome. The sets,
So Danny Boyle and James Bond. What do you think what's that going to be like?
I don't know, but I think
this movie's different.
I think
really,
yeah, he's pretty.
Is he an auteur?
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's not like as I forgot the person I was going to say. No, he's really good though. I think he could. I liked the last two by Sam Mendes. Sam Mendes is the guy that did American Beauty, which is a really well-made movie.
Those movies are beautifully shot.
They're shot, but there's no
soul to them.
No. And you, especially the last one that you could what's his name? Martin, not Martin Campbell, the actor there, the little pug dog. What's his name? The guy that plays James. He looks like a little pug dog. The guy that plays James Bond. Anyways, you could tell he checked out in that movie.
Daniel Craig?
Yeah.
Looks like a pug dog?
He looks like a little pug dog. Yeah, he looks like a little bruiser. Like he's just.
Oh, he looks like a bruiser. Oh,
Yeah.
you mean like a.
He just looks like a little dog. He's just
a bulldog.
Yeah, like a little bulldog. Yeah.
Pug dogs are those little ridiculous small. Fluffy.
Well, that too. He's like 3.5 feet tall. So.
Yeah, he's married to like Rachel Weisz though.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I just found out that the guy that plays Jim in The Office is married to Emily Blunt.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
But what about Jim and Pam?
Well, that's a TV show.
I know, but in
but this is Emily Blunt, though. I mean, she had that whole
acceptable. All right.
Because she was in
What was she in? Yeah.
The Adjustment Bureau.
Didn't see it.
No, there's every once in a while there's these movies where what was that John Cusack movie? Grosse Pointe Blank.
Mm-hmm.
Minnie Driver was in that movie, and she just played such a lovable, perfect girlfriend kind of character. And Emily Blunt in The Adjustment Bureau is the same thing. She's just like,
it's a sci-fi movie, right?
It was from a sci-fi short story, and then they kind of fleshed it out, and it was the stupid thing with hats and stuff like that. But
if those hats, that's awesome.
right. But she was just, she was like perfect in that movie. She was perfect in that movie.
Really,
everything. And then she went on to, and then she was in. What was that other movie? The Elysium there, the one by the guy that did
didn't see it.
District 8. Look at that. What's going on with this? Oh, this is a free roaming F2.8.
Yeah.
Depth of fieldy kind of stuff. Where were we?
So
Danny Boyle. Yeah, no, I think he'll do a good job. Like he makes really good movies. But Shallow Grave is fantastic. It was his first film. The premise was really simple. It was 3 flatmates, and they're looking for a 4th flatmate. And this guy shows up, and he rents the flat, and he doesn't really have any communication with him. And then they find him dead in his bedroom with a briefcase full of money. Mm-hmm. And so it's just, what do we do with all this money? Do we keep it or whatever? And it's awesome. It's such a good movie. Like low budget, but the sets are great and the colors are great. And so so I'm kind of excited to see what he's going to do with that.
Yeah.
I'm also kind of like, do you think that they should give Idris Elba, do you think they should make him Bond?
That's an interesting idea. Idris Elba's cool.
Like, I can't think of anybody else that's out there right now who would make. I do know that Ray Fiennes wanted to be Bond.
Yeah.
But then they made him M,
right?
M or Q or what? M.
He's the replacement. Yeah.
You don't like Ray Fiennes?
I don't think like him as Bond.
No?
No.
I guess he's too old now.
He's always also too fine-boned, I think.
He's too fine-boned.
Too fine-boned. That's why it doesn't look like he'd take a punch to the face,
Yeah, that's true. Daniel Craig definitely could take a punch to the face.
He's the kind of person like he would like if he was like a sword fighter, he would have like a long, skinny little blade, and he'd go But he wouldn't like. Daniel Craig looks like I'm just screw this guy. I'm just gonna punch you directly in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
he's going to enjoy it.
That's what I like about Daniel Craig is he totally looks like a little thug. Puncher.
Thug Puncher.
Thug Puncher.
That'd be a good game.
Coming soon to Xbox Live. Thug Puncher. Yeah. I'm glad that he's going to do the next movie. I'm glad that Sam Mendes isn't going to do the next movie.
So Kenta Koga in the chat says, had to IMDb what Danny Boyle did. Sunshine.
Oh, Sunshine is really good.
Yeah.
I love that.
Event Horizon all over again.
No, it's not sci-fi. Sunshine was great.
What's Event Horizon?
Everybody's just dumping on Danny Boyle, man.
You're going to fight him. You're going to fight him.
But, and then so I don't even remember where we left off at the last podcast. We were talking about comic movies and Marvel Universe, and then how it's really fascinating to watch how together the Marvel Universe is and how not together the DC Universe is. It's just a giant mess.
I read something about the nature of the characters in the DC universes versus the Marvel universe had something to do with the ability to make relatable stories.
Yeah. Stan Lee always wanted to make, like, Peter Parker was a high school kid in school. Mm-hmm. Plus he was a superhero, or the X-Men were, like, people hate mutants.
Yeah, so there was always kind of like a some sort of internal struggle that
Yeah.
all the characters has. Where
Yeah,
in
and
the
I
DC
guess
universe, it's like
DC's
Superman has
Superman.
abilities, and then
Yeah, they've
so-and-so
never.
has-
That's true. Yeah, yeah.
So how do you make something that's like a compelling story that's not you're making something out of whole cloth?
Right. 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 I just yeah, it's just so fascinating. And then it's just, like I remember at one point they kept dragging their heels on making a Wonder Woman movie. And it was right before the first Guardians movie came out. And people were like, look, they just made a movie with a raccoon and a talking tree. And it's going to do really good. And you guys can't even figure out how to make a Wonder Woman movie.
Yeah.
And I think there's something to be said when like the Wonder Woman movie is the only good movie.
Yeah.
It is okay.
I liked it.
It was okay up until the last act, and then again, it turned into just a stupid CG, stupid thing.
Well, that's because I think the last scene of the movie was really more of a symbolic thing. So the movie, So some criticism I've heard about the last scene in Wonder Woman is that it's just like
Spoilers.
It's not as epic a battle as like some of the previous ones, and it's kind of one-dimensional feeling.
It's just weird.
But I think the reason why it was one-dimensional, it seems to be literally shot like a 2D scroller.
Yeah.
So there's one person's on the left,
right.
the other person's on the right,
and
right?
she's up on top of the
and they're
crow's
just
nest
literally
thing.
kind of pushing into each other.
Yeah.
But I think it was because like I guess this is a spoiler, because it wasn't so much the nature of the battle itself that was supposed to be impressive part. It was her accepting and coming into fully accepting the Wonder Woman role.
Yeah.
So in that sense, I saw it as a symbolic thing. The fight itself didn't matter. It was a pretty dull fight.
It was it was not
That was the moment where you saw her forming her philosophy.
okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, it was okay. I like the World War II premise. She's ridiculously cute. Like she's just every time she made like these cute little faces on screen, it was just like, oh. But I don't know, like I haven't seen Justice. I have no interest in seeing the Justice League movie. I picked up Batman versus Superman for Christmas because it was literally like $2, and I was like, just throw it in the stocking, and eventually we'll get to it. But we should we should totally do like a MST style screening of that, and then we still haven't seen the second Independence Day movie, which I picked up.
Oh, is that good?
I don't know. I haven't watched it. I'm like, it can't be any good.
I didn't even realize because it came out. Eric Vaughn is back from picking up his son.
We are live.
Kenta Koga says that just when you think you're going into a sci-fi movie,
it turns out
space.
Sunshine was really good for the first 3 acts, and then the last act totally turns into a monster movie, which kind of it came out of nowhere. But that was a really I thought Sarah really likes that movie a lot up until the monster part where they start turning into
It's like that Rodriguez Tarantino movie. What was it?
Which one?
It's the one in which it starts off one way and then it ends with this weird. What was the movie?
Dusk Till Dawn?
Yeah, I think that's
the vampire one, the vampire bar movie.
It's kind of an exploration of character, and then it's just people running away trying not to get killed.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Okay,
which part? The father's driving with his kids, and he's like, he used to be a preacher, and he's lost his faith and everything, and then all of a sudden you got dudes that have guns coming up from their crotches.
It's like, and it's kind of wonderful to see because he says like these guys are really good friends to do a movie.
That's with my favorite.
I'll do this part, and then you do this part, and it'll be great.
Yes.
And then it's fine.
Head bobber George Clooney. I saw, Letterman has a new series on Netflix.
Yes.
And one of his guests was George Clooney.
Yep.
And I watched that one because I've grown into a George Clooney fan, not early work. And we've talked about this. Yep. He used to do this thing with his head. He would bob his head around. Yep. And in this interview with Letterman, they talk about that. And he said, he goes, do you know where that stopped? And he was like, no. And he goes, Steven Spielberg stopped that. And he goes, what do you mean? And he goes, he came up to me and he said, you'd be such a good actor if you would just stop with that head thing. He goes, only he didn't say that like that. He came up to me and he went, you'd be a really good actor if you'd stop it with that. Okay. But he did.
Yeah.
And he became a much better actor for it.
Did he used to do that on ER a lot?
He did. Yeah. All that early stuff. He'd always like bring his head down and then he would bring it was just so irritating. That was his cute thing? That was his thing. It was some little shtick that he got stuck into.
Oh dear, oh dear.
But he's actually a really good actor nowadays. So
I haven't seen I guess I don't see that many movies to begin with. I kind of be dragged into seeing them. I don't know why. I think partly it's because I feel that like I'm behind on so much work that I could be doing that I don't feel that I can take the time to go and see these things.
Digesting pop culture is a full-time job.
It is. Oh my god, there's so many movies. And half of them I'm sure I'm gonna like.
Yep.
And so.
Yep. Sarah just saw They Live for the first time. We've been on a little bit of a John Carpenter kick.
Oh really?
And
how did she like it?
She didn't like it as much as one of her favorite movies is Big Trouble in Little China.
That's an excellent movie.
She loves that movie. That's loves that movie.
It's one of my favorites.
So we watched They Live before that. And she was like, I think she liked the whole obey thing, and she liked that whole. It took forever. I remember watching it a long time ago, and it's been a long time since I've seen it, and I forgot like the whole first 40 minutes is like him just like hanging out in that little like homeless camp across the street. It was like, when is the stuff? But she noticed that in They Live, there's not a lot of character development with anybody, whereas opposed to Big Trouble, like everybody from the get-go has like there's a character behind them, like the guy that drives the tour bus and everything, and Egg Chan. And so the Blu-ray just came in, so we had to, it's nice and HD and clean.
Nice.
And we got into that because I've been picking up the John Carpenter the soundtracks that have been coming out.
Huh. Doesn't he compose his own music?
Yeah, so he's always made his own music because he's too cheap to hire an actual composer.
Right.
But his son and his stepson or something. No, his son and his something. I don't know. Something about his son. They formed a band and they've been releasing albums. And like the first two albums that were coming out were unreleased things that he's like composed and never released. And then the one that I really like it's an anthology of all his movie music, like movie themes.
Yeah.
And they start from like 70 something up until like 89 or something like that. So it's got a lot of all that, and it's really great because it's not the actual score. It's not the actual music that's from the things. It's him with this band recreating the music, but it still sounds very similar.
Like the John Carpenter symphonic.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. I just picked up the anthology I've got on CD, but I just picked it up on vinyl so I could play it at the studio and stuff.
Right.
And so that sort of started this whole like, let's take another look at John Carpenter and revisit a lot of like Halloween, which Sarah really likes. And yeah, she's really funny. Like this stuff that she ends up liking a lot of the times. She's fascinating. She's fascinating.
Ponders the mystery.
Yes.
Yeah.
But getting back to the Marvel DC, like just
DC. So, final word on Marvel's DC movie culture stuff.
I don't even know.
Bored of superhero movies.
I'm exhausted. Not bored. I'm just so tired.
Tired, exhausted. I am kind of tired and exhausted of games, which is something I never thought I would say.
Wow.
I think I've been feeling it for a long time, but now it's, I might be done with them.
Yeah, you say that every.
I say that, but I still like to look at the games. Yeah, but and I like to play them and see if they're interesting or not. I mean, I just built a new PC, which is hovering up behind us. You see it?
Oh, is that the blue one?
Yeah, that's glowing
with the glowy lights.
Yeah, terrible time to build a new PC, but I did.
Didn't you say you did something you were putting the card in or something and something happened?
Yeah, like it was running at too high a temperature.
Okay.
And like the card's kind of old. It's an old R9 290, and these were known for sucking down a lot of power and getting really hot. And so I was reading online. So it's like people replace the coolers on their GPUs to make them run better.
Yep.
So I tried doing it with mine, and it's ran like 30 degrees cooler, which is like incredible. But then it stopped working because I think there's these thermal pads on there that were not part of the grease that I replaced.
Okay.
And I don't think after I pulled it apart, I don't think they made contact anymore with some of the chips. So they fried themselves. Although I'm not sure because it comes back intermittently. So it could be I could get new thermal pads, replace them, and then I could still have that card and put it in the secondary PC. Yeah, but this card is 15% faster than the old one. So I paid more for it now than it should have cost, 8 months ago. But all this cryptocurrency stuff that's
right,
going
all the farming
Bitcoin
stuff,
and Ethereum. They've been just buying up every single graphics card because they're really, really good at doing the calculations that go into getting rewarded with these crypto coins. So everything's like 200, 300% more expensive.
Stop it. Stop doing that.
That card in there should have cost maybe $280 in a regular market, and most places are selling it for about $600. I got it for $450.
Wow.
Which is actually only $20 or $30 more than MSRP. But everything is over MSRP.
Right. That's crazy.
Suggested retail price. So,
and all you want to do is just play Titanfall 2 at 100 frames per second. I mean, that's
it looks great. Well,
does it look good? You'll have to show it to me,
after sometime,
right?
After we're done with recording stuff.
A very good game.
We should talk about stuff that we're doing though, because we've talked about
that's true.
We spent
well, actually, I can do an easy
45
easy roll. So,
okay.
I did a cover session for the Hippo a couple of weeks ago.
Oh yeah, okay.
And I got to photograph some local cosplayers.
Right. Let me pull up your Instagram so
and
look at things at the same time.
Yeah, so he's gonna dig that up. So that was kind of cool. So they came to the studio, and it turns out I didn't know until they actually got here. There were three. Was there two? There was five people. But one of the ladies that came is the manager of the Double Midnight. I couldn't think of the name. Double Midnight Comics up in Manchester. Mm-hmm. And then one of another of the guys that came, he was like a longtime employee of Double Midnight. And so I thought that was pretty cool. So they had, they were doing a cover story it was something about like people that like to cosplay, but at the same time, like do charity events and stuff to raise a little money and everything like that. And I knew I wanted to get into the studio. One, because that's totally my wheelhouse, yep. Comics and cosplay and all this kind of stuff. And then also, I want to do more cosplay photography.
Yeah.
But it's been really hard for me to sort of break into this thing.
Yeah, so it's kind of a trust thing, right?
It is. It's extremely a trust thing. And then in the past, I've tried a few different times, and because they don't know who I am, they're very fast to sort of circle their wagons.
Right.
And I think it's a lot of because of a lot of the female cosplayers, some of the costumes have a tendency to be a little more revealing or risque.
Yep.
And I totally get it. Like I don't want to be some creepy dude that's, so I figured, well, if I can get these people to the studio, the minute they walk in this studio, they're going to know that like, I am one of them. I am safe. And and that was what happened. Like they walked in and they were like, holy shit. Like there was just stuff everywhere.
Right.
And it was really good. So we did the session, and then, we had a guy from the Hippo that was sort of like an art director, but when he left, 4 out of the 5 people stayed around for almost like another 3 hours, and we were just talking about comics and all kinds of crazy nice. Stuff. So that was really cool. And I'm trying to keep in touch with them, and I want to make sure that I include them in more shoots and stuff to like help networks and stuff like that. So that was really good. That was really fun. And it was, it was kind of controlled. They just wanted me to shoot these people on white because it was going to be for a cover session.
Right.
And you can see the stuff that we brought up, and I think they look really good. And the guy playing Captain America, turns out he's like a wedding photographer that's based out of like southern Massachusetts and everything. Okay. So not only can we talk about comics and stuff, but we can also talk about photography.
Nice.
And I thought they looked good for just real simple, clean stuff that would go on a cover. Yep. And then at the very end, I was like, can you let me put my Wolverine claws on and get one shot
Can I be a cosplayer too?
Yeah, I know. Like, and so there's Fat Wolverine with the rest of the dudes. But it was a good session. It was really nice. It was good to just hang out and talk comics and all kinds of crazy junk. Yeah.
So have you been able to keep in touch with them?
I've
seen
been
the work and they're happy with it?
Yeah, they've seen it. I still owe them some images. I just haven't had a chance to get some stuff over to them.
Right.
But and they all seem like they want to work with me again and stuff.
Fantastic.
So it was fun. It was good stuff. I liked that.
Nice.
And it's just been the last 3 or 4 weeks have been really busy. The big client down in Boston, the place that I did last year with Jeff Borkowski.
Oh, right.
That was Thursday.
Oh wow.
So we went down and did that. It wasn't as much as last year. But it was a full day, and it was good. We get to see some of the same people. And
excellent.
Yep.
Happy to see you.
Yes, very happy. Yeah, there's one lady, man. She's so awesome. She came running in. She didn't even have to have a picture this year, and she came running in, and then she saw some of the names of people that we hadn't photographed yet, and she wrote them all down. She's like, I'm going to go find them for you, and I'll bring them back in here. I love her. Dwayne George, I absolutely love you. You were fantastic.
Awesome.
So that was good. And then just other stuff. I worked with a group of a band. Oh, I did the stuff for the Red River too.
Oh, right.
They have an Oscar party. They have an Oscar party every year where they stream the live Oscar awards on their big screens, and then they combine it with a membership drive kind of thing. And I had done it in the past a few times. Like I go up, they get the awesome part is like, so there's an Oscar. I did what we were just event Oscar photos.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the guy's name, but the person that won the actual Oscar in 1982 for Best Adapted Screenplay for On Golden Pond lets the theater borrow his actual Oscar every year
that's cool.
for the event. So we just did a little quick session where they had picked up a gold background and stuff, and then we set up a little table, and it was just quick shots of somebody hanging out with the Oscar and a couple shots and everything like that.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like everybody dresses up too.
Yeah, and everybody kind of dresses like they were going to an Oscar party and stuff. And in Red River up in Concord, they do a whole thing like when you come in, there's a whole red carpet, and there's Concord Community Television, and they're interviewing you as you come in, and they're asking you who made your clothes, like just like they do in the real Oscar party stuff. They ask, and then they had they did it in conjunction with a restaurant that was right there, so they had like this 15-piece like jazz band, and there was dancing, and it was really awesome. And then you'd go into the theaters and you'd watch the stuff, and then during the commercials they would do trivia, and you would get prizes from local organizations and everything.
That's neat.
I just missed last year. Usually I've done it a couple of years in a row, and then last year the executive director that I had been working with left, and the new one came in, and I think just information got misplaced about who did what and everything like that, and so they brought somebody else in, and I remember I don't want to get into that, but there was some negative feedback about whoever they had last year. So I wanted to make sure I didn't sort of fall into that same thing. But it was good. It was really great to see everybody. And I see usually it's, a lot of the same people and stuff. And and then that was a session I did with a 9-piece band that I had shot a couple of years ago.
We're looking at a picture on says Instagram. This will be in the show notes so you can see it.
Yes, Red River. I love Red River. I love Red River. Well, they were the ones that let me do the whole puppet thing.
Right.
Yes. So I am indebted to them forever.
Do they have a picture of that up in the theater someplace?
They do. In one of the larger theaters, there's the New Hampshire Magazine article that has a big picture of Sarah and I sitting in the theater seats with the 2 puppets.
Yeah.
And that's permanently outside one of the theaters and stuff.
That's
the theater
nice.
that we did it in.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah. And
is there more than one theater now?
No, there's only, I think there's only in the area, there's only 2 independent. There's Red River in Concord, and then there's the Wilton Town Hall Theater.
Oh, okay.
In Wilton. So they totally kicked butt.
Nice.
Yeah. So we've just been busy with shoots, and then Sarah and I have been getting ready for flea markets starting up again.
Oh, right. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah. So I just saw that you had written a blog post about writing blog posts to see if you could still get into writing blog posts. I'm trying to think of what did I do the past. It's been 3 weeks since the last
one.
What have I been doing for the last 3 weeks? Well, for 2 of those last 2 weeks, my cousin had come to visit. Right? Was that before or after this?
He came after we did the last batch.
Right. So
because I didn't get a chance to see him.
So that's right. Yeah. So my cousin Ben, we came up here for a technical summit. So I'm working on this learning sciences, or actually it's more of an educational prototype for doing something called network analysis and so this is for something called the digital humanities. And so apparently, since I've been in school, people are using computers to do humanities research. And that is you're going back through historical records or essentially linking people and places and conversations to kind of reconstruct history. You can kind of think of it like this. So in this particular one, the NetCreate project, which is out of Illinois, they want to create a tool which allows you to enter a bunch of data in and then find the connections between things, and then be able to graph it out using this interactive thing. So Ben was up here, because I'm putting together the architecture for this web app, and this technical summit is a good way to just kind of talk, be utterly focused on making this thing, and then also have an excuse to buy a lot of food and eat it, because Ben likes food and stuff. So we made pulled pork and we did all those things. But right after that, I got sick.
Oh, no.
He had brought a cold with him from California. And I thought I had gone by it, but it was I got sick for a week after that and didn't do anything. And then I was sick for the week after that. And then that brings us to, I think, this week, or was the week before. Sick. And I was still sick. But but I decided that, getting back to the blog post thing, says, I haven't been writing very much. So let me just start it up again. And I think this came out of doing the Groundhog Day resolutions review on March 3rd.
Okay.
That's when I do my yearly reviews. I call them Groundhog Day resolutions. And I can't remember why I started this, but it was part of the overall outreach. Like, one interesting thing is that instead of being like a maker of stationery products, which is kind of what my alternative career was ending up being.
Yep.
Like with the Discord chat room, it's sort of, I'm rediscovering that I enjoy being a host. You know, it's like, I don't remember if I used to talk about like having a bed and breakfast and having a facility that had all these things, and all the nerds could come in, and we would have, they would like do their own thing, but we would all eat at all this great food at the time and collaborate. So that's kind of where my heart is pulled toward. And so an interesting connection was like the blogging that I'm doing, the Discord chat room, the live streaming, and like the podcasts. Those are all about connecting to people. But we'll talk about it in the next segment.
Okay.
I'm designer Dave Seah.
And I'm photographer Sid Caesar.
And that's the podcast.
Yes, that's the podcast for this week. We will see you next week. For those of us watching us on our live stream as we record these, stick around. We're going to do another one. Michael Billar. Wait, let me start over. Music provided by Michael Billar. Visit him at michaelbillar.com.
Send him your love.
Share your love.
Yeah. What else we got to talk about? We got one more. I guess we'll figure it out.
Have a good week.
Bye. Clap, clap, clap.
Oh, look at the kitty.
There's a kitty. All right, let me save this.
Look at the kitty.
We've got a kitty. So let's see. Anything in the chat room? Kenta says he actually wants to see Pacific Rim.
I think did he say he saw the second one? I actually went to see Pacific Rim Uprising, a non-comic graphic novel, non-reboot from Hollywood. Pacific Rim. It could have been.
I like the first Pacific Rim.
Yeah, mostly. Yeah, it was mostly good. Some of it was. There was a couple of characters that didn't need to be in there.
Like those two scientist guys.
I can't. The one guy from. I don't remember. I don't even know who the guy is.
Yeah.
But there was a whole thing with the guy that played. What's his name? The guy that played Hellboy.
Hellboy.
The big guy. I can't remember his name. But it didn't. He didn't feel like he needed to be in it. He kind of pooped like bad comedy all over it.
Was he one of the scientists? That's when I think
no,
of bad
he was like
comedy. Oh, Ron Perlman.
Yeah, he played like a. I don't even know who he played.
It's
like it was just a bad role.
An underworld kind of figure, and it was kind of.
But it didn't need to be in there.
Yeah.
And then that guy from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and I don't remember his name, but he was kind of comic relief. It was like the movie didn't need that kind of comic relief.
Yeah. Well, maybe it did.
I don't know. Just
if it was all serious, maybe it wouldn't have been as fun.
I don't know. But it was just. It was like. It's like every once in a while, Guillermo del Toro likes to throw in the same kind of humor that Peter Jackson likes to throw in. That's just not needed. Charlie Day. That's the kitten mitten. That's the guy. I don't know. I guess I don't know. I didn't think. He's thrown out. It was just bad comedy. It was just bad comedy. And every once in a while, Peter Jackson gets into that same kind of like, I just throws some bad comedy in there, you know? Like elves surfing downstairs on shields. Come on.
Oh, that was awesome.
No.
Elves surfing down shields.
Or the entirety of all the Hobbit movies.
It's like whoosh, 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 whoosh. That's like the... They didn't draw it out to me. It was just, he just did it, and I was like, cool.
Right.
It wasn't like the whole movie.
It wasn't like the second. Yeah, it wasn't like the Hobbit movies where he was like
shield surfer,
jumping up those stone blocks as they were falling. It was just terrible.
Yeah,
the Hobbit movies. You didn't see those,
I didn't
right?
see the Hobbit movie. I have been seeing so few movies recently because I suck. So anyway,
well, I told you I have the 4K version of Fury Road, right?
Oh, we need to see that.
We need to see that on your TV, and then for a birthday present for myself, but I haven't opened it up. I won't open it. I got the new Steelbook re-release of Dark Crystal that has a 4K disc on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And Dark Crystal remaster or whatever. They just remastered it.
Is that the one with David Bowie in it, or I'm thinking of?
No, that's Labyrinth.
Okay.
This one's the all puppets.
Did I see Dark Crystal?
Did you
Maybe
ever
not
see
have?
it? With the Skeksis and the...
I don't remember. It must have been so long ago.
It's a beautiful
it must
movie.
have been on VHS.
So I didn't have it on Blu-ray, so I picked it up. They said they
Nice.
remastered it, so
Mhm.
I want a nice remastered.
All right, so we're going to continue talking about stuff. I want to show off
Yes.
Eric's game because it's cool.
Okay.
It's too bad like we're not connected up to. Well, if Eric was on Discord, he could actually talk live, and we could actually have him on the channel. But I'm not sure if it would work right now.
Is he usually on Discord?
I don't think he is.
Oh.
So let's check the Discord chat and see if I missed anything.
Eric, get on Discord.
Let's see. I just said no one has responded.
No.
Everyone said hello to Strudel though, who's in New Zealand.
Strudel. Oh, New Zealand.
Yes, is that New Zealand accent? I don't know if it's authentic or not.
It doesn't matter.
So it's like it's a combination between like Dick Van Dyke.
Jolly Ollie. Hello, Mary Poppins.
Oh man.
Australians and New Zealanders, they always end on an upswing with their...
Do they?
Yeah. There's, hello, that.
Mm-hmm.
So it always makes them sound like they're happy.
Mm.
You know?
I don't know.
Oh, you know, it's anything. They make anything sound like it's happy to, you know, I'll go take out the trash. We'll put it in the dumpster. It's great. Stop by and get a coffee. I'm taking out the trash.
Kiwi, I think they call it, says Eric.
Kiwi. News it, yes.
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 All right. Are you ready
Kiwi.
to do this?
Yes.
All right, let's go full view. All right. I forgot what I'm doing.
Full frontal.
I need to pull up reason, and I need to press this button. All right. So you can open.
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
Open it. Welcome to the podcast. I am photographer Sid Caesar.
I'm designer Dave Seah.
And welcome on this lovely Wednesday, March 21st. We're recording a whole first day of spring.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
It is. It was the first day of spring.
So hopefully it'll
A month
all
ago,
the
for
snow
those of you
will.
listening
Oh,
to
that's
this.
right.
So how's your spring been? We have no idea. We're
Exactly.
assuming it went well.
Is there still snow on the ground?
There is there? We're supposed to get snow later this evening.
That's what
Aren't
they're
we?
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to start around 5 or something like
Yeah.
that.
So you in the future will know if it actually came to pass.
Exactly. Is
Yeah,
there
we
still
have
snow
no
on the
idea.
ground?
Right. We're just talking about accents between the podcasts. I was looking at the Discord chat room, the virtual co-working chat that I run, where a bunch of people from around the world hang out and basically say what they're working on. It's much less boring than it sounds. But it's, if you're a freelancer and you work at home and you kind of crave the connection with random people, or just even telling people what you're doing. That's kind of what I get out of it. The virtual co-working chat room is a nice way of doing it without having to pay someone $50 to $200 a month in their crappy co-working space.
Wow.
And it's hard to find a good co-working space, you know? A place that you want to go to every day that, that you're willing to pay $200 a month for.
Right.
You can get like small office rooms, but they're tucked out in the way.
Yeah,
There's no shops around. And there's not really any people to talk to. You're just away from home.
Yeah.
And I guess if you have kids, that's good for just the focus, concentration part of things. But if you don't have kids or you crave some other social stimulation, like where your studio is right now, you've got like all these people coming and going. So even if you don't talk to them, there's kind of a sense of people energy.
Yeah,
And does that make you feel like working more or?
Yes and no. Like I had been in the old space for so long that it was very quiet because there was usually nobody else on that floor. Now there's a constant stream of just all these sounds, people talking, people moving, people doing things. So it kind of makes you want to do stuff because everybody else is usually doing stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So,
but you were working on, so tell me, so you were talking about your cousin who had come to visit and you were working on a thing.
In the last podcast, I was talking about my cousin came to visit, what was it, 3 weeks ago?
3 weeks ago?
Yeah, so we're working on a project together. Like his company has a contract doing some grant work for creating a prototype of a learning application for something called network analysis, where you get involved, put the data in, and you have a interactive view that you can explore. So this is designed for a college classroom.
Okay.
So people, instead of like reading just lists of tables of data, you can actually see them visually represented and see what connects to what. They're color coded, and there's lines that connect to it, and all that kind of stuff. So we're building that, and I'm the there's just the two of us working the project, but I'm putting together the base system, and then Ben can tweak it then and make it fit to the specifications of the client.
Is Ben the person that you have done those interactive museum things with?
Yeah, I've done other museum work, but lately, as I've been culling back the number of design clients I have, like he's one of the legacy clients, his company Inquirium.
Legacy.
Because I like working with them. They have interesting projects, and I have a skill set that is kind of hard to find. And plus we get along, and plus we're related, and we get along well with that, and so we can kind of sneak in like the family reunion time, like as a business expense. Because we're doing legitimate work together on stuff, so that's that we've been doing. But I forgot what your question was.
Is he the one that?
Yeah, doing the museum work. So we did do work for the what's it?
The one with the frogs?
The one with the frogs. Okay. That was interactive real-time graphics simulation for the Illinois Holocaust Museum. So the idea behind that was to show the effects of bullying and standing up to it. And so, but it was supposed to be kid accessible, not too violent or anything like that. So we had made this. Is it a metaphor or is it an analogy? So this frog pond stood in for kind of a world, and then what was happening in the world, like kids would observe that and then decide what they could do about it. But we wouldn't tell them what to do. They would just do what they felt was right.
Right, and then you would...
Yeah, so then that would be something that they could talk about. And then before that, there was another project for Intel Education that was more of one of his designs that was about comparing... it was teaching kids how to reason. How do you come up with... how do you support an idea with a pro-con list? So there was this interface, and we did this in Flash. And this is when we first started working in 2007, because like I had this Flash background because I was doing museum stuff for Interactive Factory at the time. And, so you have Flash expertise. You want to help us out with this project? I said, yeah, sure, let's see what happens. So that worked out pretty well in the long run. So Ben is one, or his company Aquarium is one of my legacy clients. So... Ideally, I would be making money by, as Neil Stephenson once said, by making stuff up and cashing checks. But so my version of making stuff up is to make the stationery, the productivity tool stationery stuff. Sell that on Amazon. I really haven't done very much with it, though. So I'm also losing market share now because there's so many people doing it. So I have to kind of get off my butt and do that kind of stuff. Which brings me to the next thing, which is like the increasing general productivity, which is like we were talking in the last podcast about I started blogging again.
Yeah.
And so the blogging being an extension of this side thing, which doesn't seem to be about making stuff up and cashing checks, but is more about hosting certain kinds of communities, because I think that's the energy that gives me the energy to want to do something. I don't particularly like to just sit in a room by myself, make stuff, and just be satisfied with that. It needs to connect with somebody, and I think this is what I've been missing for a long time. So that this is a very new area of exploration for me. Like it sort of combines with the live streaming stuff, because like there's no reason that I'm doing this other than I can. And I figured that in the back of my mind, I was saying, this is good media training. It teaches me how to be on a place and be comfortable presenting myself. And then getting all this gear to work. And then, it sort of like led into the podcast stuff. And now we want to use the podcast to reach other people who are doing cool, nerdy stuff in our area. And so I think it's all connected somehow. Not sure exactly how, but I think fundamentally it comes down to what kind of energy can you put out there? What kind of positive vibes can you put? Because there's so much negative stuff going on. So if you can put out a positive energy and be cool about it, and have your own strengths and your own kind of generosity to contribute to community, I think it's a very powerful thing. and it's something that for whatever reason we seem to be able to do in our own various ways.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people love you as a photographer when they want to give you hugs.
I hope so.
Like
I know.
Because you like being around people and taking their pictures and seeing them react to it. Right?
Yes.
It says, "Oh my God, that's why I look great."
As introverted as I am, I do enjoy people.
So that's kind of what's been going on with me. Other than I've been having a slump because I was sick for about 3 weeks after Ben visited. Because I caught a cold that he had brought with him from California.
California plague.
Yeah. So, and then the other thing that was interesting was that I was finding it really difficult to just like hold thoughts in my head, and I thought it was because either I was depressed or I didn't really want to do this work, and so I assumed that I was just being lazy. But then I had on a particularly bad day. When I was just kind of like basically slumped in this chair and I said, okay, I'm going to get up now. And then nothing would happen. All right, now I'm really going to get up. And then like nothing would happen. It occurred to me that it reminded me of stories I'd read about diabetic people who like are sugar crashing and they can't move until someone gives them a little cookie. And so they carry around snacks and little things so they don't get into that super low blood sugar state that's dangerous for them. And so I was wondering, I wonder if that has something to do with it. So I was looking up symptoms of being diabetic, if there's any relationship to lethargy or depression and stuff, and all this stuff came. And so I was like, okay, maybe if I want my brain to be clear, so I can do the things that I'm telling myself that I want to do. Maybe the diet is actually something I need to do. Instead of like when I'm sick, I have a tendency to eat a lot of comfort food. So I was eating lots of white rice, and eating lots of curry, and lots of fried things, and stuff with breading, all that. Like, but no, I can't do that if I need to use my brain.
Right.
And so, and that's something that's really important to me. I don't like taking medicine, like cold medicine, because it affects my brain. So like, I don't like the idea of doing drugs or anything like that because it changes the way my brain works. I don't want that to happen. I want it to be clear. I want to be doing what it's supposed to be doing. And so now this is actually the first reason I can think of for actually dieting. Yeah. Because like before I wanted to lose weight and all that kind of stuff. But it was difficult for me to motivate to do that. I was wondering, this is still recording. I was just noticing my levels were kind of low. But it was before, it was just, like the results were so far in the future. It's hard to be motivated, to lose the weight. But in the right now, just having a clear mind, that's a much more immediate goal. So like now I'm on low carb and I started going to the gym again. So
I was reading that. 15-minute.
So that's part of the renewed blogging push to see if I like it. And the kind of blogging I'm doing right now is different. Before, I used to think that I had I had to write stuff that was useful or tip oriented or advanced thinking. Right now, the kind of blogging I'm doing is just sharing what's happened during the day. So the theory behind that is related to the Discord chat room. It's like there's something about just sharing your day, in a succinct way. So I'm not writing as much as I used to, but I'm just kind of writing about different things. It's almost like a little tasting menu of what's going on. And maybe that is all that's needed in the blogging side of things. I can still do the other kind of content that's more focused and more task-oriented or more deconstructing complicated ideas. But the everyday stuff might be actually the key to the kind of blogging that is important to me, which is the making the connections with people. And this is an insight that came from running the virtual co-working chat room. Is that just by being there and sharing stuff about yourself creates a sense of community, and as the sense of community develops, and especially since this community is, the purpose is to be more productive. It's not a tip for a place. It's not a place where like people are. It's not like a place where you're being held. Right. You're not being coached actively, but generally the people who stick around, they're people who want to do things. Right. And it's nice to be around people who want to do things. And and sharing things. I imagine you must get something like this when you're with the right group of photographers and you're all sitting around and you're eating something, and like if they're photographers you like that are doing work that you like, and you're talking about stuff and sharing things that you're doing.
Yeah, well, I mean, it just happens with anybody that responds to the same kind of things that you're into. I mean, I think anything, you know, it doesn't have to be photography. I mean, Jesus, when we get together, I mean, we've just spent like almost 2 hours just talking about crap that we like.
Yeah.
You know, and it gets you like, you're just, I like doing these because it's, you know, it gives you a chance to, but yeah, it's good to be around people that you can identify. I don't even know how to phrase it. I don't even know. I lost my train of thought.
I like the idea of doing crap that you like as being an organizing principle behind one of our activities. Yeah, so look, so if you're around someone who likes what they're doing, and they appreciate you sharing that stuff, you know, that creates the basis of maybe a good working relationship, or at least a creative relationship.
Right. I've been trying to, like, I usually, when I do blog posts for the website, you know, a lot of times it's, you know, this is a client I worked with, this is this is what one of the pictures looks like. But I've been trying to specifically make more blog posts that are about just stuff that I like. Yeah, like I just did one. It was like, you know, it was a blog post all about those arcade video game posters that I hung up at the studio, and why I like them and how long I've been collecting them, and I just do it because I just want to talk about that. You know, like I don't even know where I'm going with this. I always get this junk in my head. Like I am convinced that my brain is completely filled with useless pop culture information about movies and toys and music and games and just crap. And there's just no room for smart people things in my head anymore because it's all taken up with stupid statistical facts about who directed what and what game came out this and blah, 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 blah. But that's the crap that, you know, I'm passionate about. So if I can, you know, and every once in a while, a client or somebody will read something and they'll mention it when they come in during a shoot. You know, I read this thing on your blog about your posters or whatever. So I've lost track. My sugar's starting to crash.
Yeah, do you need a cookie?
Yeah, I do. I need something with some sugar in it. It's funny you were talking about that because there's been times where like I'll be like walking in front of Sarah and I can like,
yeah, she knows.
I feel like the Scarecrow from the Wizard of Oz. Like I start to get all droopy and Sarah's just like, somebody needs to have some sugar.
Yeah. So yeah, I can talk to you while I'm getting you.
Oh, that's right. You're on your little remote
wireless
thing. Guy is completely loaded with all kinds of crazy stuff.
And I think another thing I want to do with the blog is to be able to share more people's work. I think that's part of the connection of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, like when you're sharing things that people are doing awesome stuff, you kind of establish links with the community.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about Eric Vaughn's Startlecat Games thing. But I'll get you a cookie first so you don't die.
Or a couple of cookies.
I don't actually, I don't have any cookies in the house because I'm on low carb.
Oh.
But let me see what I got.
Something sweet.
Something sweet, like a raw potato?
No, not a raw potato.
All right, so here you go.
Something with a little sugar or...
This is the only sweet thing in the house, and you're going to have to like it.
Uh-oh. This is like...
I hope you like
your
fancy
mystery
Asian candy.
So this isn't like, oh, it is this little candy hamburgers.
Little candy hamburgers. These are every burger things. You should take a picture of that.
We did go to Lana Asian Market the other day.
Oh,
and,
okay. Did you say hi to Joy?
I bought... No, I don't know her enough to... Candy every burger, but we bought some of what are those, the little koala things.
Oh, right,
I love those things.
Yeah,
Hello Panda.
Hello Panda.
I was like, Sarah, can I get some Hello Panda? How does this open up?
I don't know. It's like, I hope this is food.
It's probably a box of erasers.
Probably. Just rip it out and open up the bag. I can't eat these, so this is all you.
I don't know. Yeah, I need to. I've been the same thing. Like I've been not.
So while you're fiddling with that, let's look at Eric's site. So Eric Vaughn is a friend of mine who goes back to the days when we had a. Oh, those are very.
They're like little. They're like little chocolate cookies.
Yes, like Eric's being upstaged with this little tiny. There it is. Look at that. Yeah, it's like your phone is like pulling focus.
Can you see that? It's like, don't look at my terrible fingers. It's basically two little pieces of cookie with some chocolate in it.
Yeah, it looks very much like a very plain cheeseburger.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them. So this is what they all look like.
Yeah.
Here.
So
It's like an unboxing video. Like I'm gonna put it in my
totally
mouth.
It's an unboxing video.
Okay, now I'm gonna taste it.
Yeah. So let's see. How's it look?
Just like a Hello Panda. This
really?
is Hello Panda.
Is it good?
Only the chocolate's not on the inside of the cookie.
Is it good?
Wait, not bad.
I'm sad I can't eat it.
That's okay. I'll
Anyway,
just eat
so
them all.
you'll just have to enjoy it. So anyway, so my friend Eric, I know him from the days when I used to run something called the New Media Group. When was this? Like 2007 or 2005? And so at the time, I had wanted to meet other people who were doing interactive Flash work. So I put out this post on Dave English's jobs mailing list, and proceeded to meet with people one-on-one who were interested in interactive design.
Okay.
No one did Flash, though, and we just started meeting. And it turned into like a really cool group. It was like a bunch of people who had a bunch of different life experiences, who are interested in interactive stuff and interested in doing Flash work. But there was this one guy who was, he worked at the Planetarium up in Concord, who used to be a videographer in the 60s.
Oh.
So he had shot video of Woodstock.
Really?
Yeah, like those pictures of like this giant, like huge reel-to-reel things.
Yeah.
And then there was like a costume designer there who, there was a professor from Northwestern or Northeast, some school in Boston or something like that. So it was a bunch of people, and Eric was one of the people who showed up to this thing. And it became not a group about talking about technical stuff about making interactive stuff, but just kind of finding out about people.
Huh.
And it was like a good reason to get people with different interests getting together, but kind of bound to this curiosity about how things worked and sharing stories. So it was really great. In fact, the virtual co-working Discord is modeled after that interaction. Just people coming in, people sharing stories, and then sharing knowledge and stuff like that. So Eric, I know from those days, and he's a very talented interactive designer. He's probably the only person I've met in this area who has a comparable skill set and interest set that I do. Not trying to make us sound awesome, but he can code. he can code. He can design interactives. He can make things look good.
Huh.
And he has a much better work ethic than I do. And so he started making these games, and let's watch this video. So this is all work that he's rendered.
Huh.
And he's put together this
Yeah,
interactive.
he's fine with that.
I don't know if any music is coming in through this, but we'll put a link in the show notes. And so it's an escape room game, and this like these you explore this virtual environment, kind of like Myst. If you
Okay.
Myst.
Yeah. And Riven.
Oh, look, there's a cat. And like he originally wrote it in, I don't know. Is he online? Yeah. So Eric, how did this thing work? how did this come? How did this come to pass?
Oh, it's the little guy from Adventure.
Oh, good
Should
eye.
drag him.
Good eye. Is that a stick shift symbol?
Looks like the Enterprise.
Oh yeah, it does kind of. I wonder if it is the Enterprise. So anyway, an interesting thing is like he coded this originally, I think, in Flash or Director.
That's all rendered.
Yeah, but he has some of the things like the ship. I think he bought that as an asset. But setting up the rooms, setting up the cameras, being able to navigate through the thing. I don't know if there's a gameplay video online. But you actually can move through this room, and then you're supposed to unlock these puzzles. And as you explore each thing, it zooms in like this puzzle box that's over here. I think you had to press these in a certain order, but to find out what the order is, you have to like look at clues.
There's like things around the room. Yeah.
And so
awesome.
it's really nicely put together. And so apparently, this is a popular genre in Japan, and so there's a particular person that. I think Eric has become a fan of. Yeah. Oh, the ship is a real model, green screened in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, wow. So it's a model I think his uncle made. So it was originally an action script, and now it's in C# and Unity. So he taught himself like this whole other computer environment, like over a period of months, and then he also then converted to run on iOS, and then also to run on Android.
Wow.
And put it in the Play Store. And so it's like, my hand's off to him. I don't know how to do any of this stuff.
Right.
I would have lost patience long ago. And so this is something that he just loved doing. I believe he told me originally the idea was to spend 24 hours making a game and then go on and looking for other like project opportunities and stuff like this, but this drew him in for like a year or two.
Oh, wow.
Just refining every little bit of it. So the level of craft is astonishingly high. It's really, really like impressive. So startlecat.com. I don't know what he's doing now. I haven't caught up with him for a while. We're overdue for a summit. I should call a interactive entrepreneur summit. There's a few other friends I have in the area who do stuff kind of like this. So there's Eric, and then my friend Beverly, who's been designing like board games and stickers. There's got to be other people. Like there's you, of course. They're just people to show us what they're working on.
Yeah.
Might be fun to do. So, Eric Vaughn, Startlecat Games. Remember that name.
What is he? He's telling you to look at something. Look at
Startlecat. .com/Eric. Okay.
Oh.
All right. Let's look at that. The voice of the creator has spoken. Eric is now looking for a job.
Oh.
There's Eric. See. He's looking for a full-time position in the creation of extraordinary experiences. So yeah, it's like if you're looking for someone who can author and manage an interactive project of complexity, and also handle the assets or manage the production of them, I would assume that's him. This is real.
Digital media development is my craft, and creating compelling interactive experiences is my passion.
I don't know if this is
While
recording
game
of
development is my favorite, I've also built interactive sales tools,
Spaceship games.
Oh, look, it's subtitled.
E-learning modules with rich and engaging exercises. I programmed several trainings for the CDC that included immersive game-like features.
This is
that
a good
allowed
voiceover.
exploration
Good
of
job,
the
Eric.
virtual
Yeah.
world in order to solve a mystery. I often find ways to streamline repetitive processes. Sometimes that's just scripting Photoshop actions. But on many occasions, I've coded a custom tool with an actual UI to easily edit content that has a special format.
How come we don't have reels?
I don't know.
We should make a reel for you.
Editing of audio and video. I'm seeking a full-time position where I can use my imagination and skills to collaborate in the creation of extraordinary experiences.
We should do updated
For
little,
more information, please visit startlecat.com/.
like that little video that
Thank you for watching.
Grant Morris did of me years and years ago,
Right,
like working with a client, and
How long ago was that?
it was a long time ago. We should do ones for each other.
Oh,
You
shit.
know,
Let's
that'd be pretty cool.
if we
Just
like
film a bunch of video and
do a 30-second like
edit it.
little editable. Yeah, that would be good because I haven't done any video editing in a long time.
Yeah.
You remember you seemed to like it, but I would only like it after I got kind of a concept locked down my head or a soundtrack. Once the soundtrack was locked down, then I could kind of imagine it because it would set the tone for the, I guess, the energy of the video. And so it would sort of help like reduce some design decisions.
Yep. Isn't it incredible how music like it's just music. Like it's not anywhere, and it can get you. Like I remember we were going through those chip tunes a couple of weeks ago. We were like, let's try to find a podcast, like a new theme song or whatever.
We're still on the look for
And
that.
that stuff was pretty awesome. I really like that.
Yeah, doing the new media stuff I kind of miss sometimes, but I think what I mostly miss about it is just working with other people to make stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, my late friend Bevan and I used to work on these kind of things we were making little streamable animations in Flash for IBM.
Wow.
And it was like a consultant group, some part of IBM, of their vast conglomeration. And so the idea was to stream like a full voiceover animated thing that was created in Flash, and these were custom Flash things that you could stream in real time over a modem connection, which is incredibly difficult. These were like, modems, so the data rates you had back then were incredibly slow. So you wanted to minimize the preload because you didn't want people to wait for 10 minutes and then watch like a 30-second
Right,
thing.
yeah.
So we would
That's
optimize the hell out of these things just to get the semblance of stuff. And since we were coders and designers at the same time, I mean, we could optimize things down and still retain the visual fidelity of it.
Yep.
But one thing that Bevan would do, he was always looking through the stock music CDs that he'd get from the stock music service that we used. It was called, I forget the name of it. It was, anyway, so he would always have a few things like in his back pocket. If you say like, we needed this thing, and then it says, I've got this song I've been saving for a special day. And then you pull it up and it's amazing, and it says, great, we need to cut the video entirely to this. And then I would do some sound editing to sort of rearrange some parts of it so the beats would come in the right moment, and then script it and get the voiceover recorded, and then we would animate on top of that. And some of them were kind of crappy. Some of them were pretty good.
That's awesome.
But,
Throughout my life, there's been a handful of songs that when I hear it, I turn it into a movie trailer. Like
Yeah,
I'm
yes,
imagining a fake movie that would specifically go with this song.
Yeah.
Because like, and there's only been a few. Like you hear every once in a while, you hear a song. It's just like, oh my god, that'd be the perfect trailer music.
Yeah. So I need to get into the habit of listening to more stock music sites and then get the 30 or 60-second Sting versions.
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
themes, and then just animate to that.
Yeah.
Because that'd be nice to put together. It's a skill I haven't exercised in like maybe 20 years. I
Yeah,
guess,
we
by
could
now.
totally do that. We could totally
Yeah.
put together some.
Yeah.
We should do that.
So, yeah,
Huh.
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
We've got the gear. We're just
Yes,
lazy.
we do.
We're fat and lazy.
Yep, totally.
That's a big problem.
Yep.
But we can,
No, it
we
is.
can overcome it. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Ugh.
Good.
Are you feeling better?
Yeah, I don't want to end up eating all of these, but they're actually pretty good.
They're pretty cute.
They do
looking.
kind of look like you know,
picture of them.
little Japanese erasers. There's always food like eraser food, and
Yes. So you want, there's.
but they're actually pretty cool.
I'm gonna take a picture of them.
You take a picture before I eat them all.
Yeah. So you can get those at a Lana Asian market.
Do they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
so,
just like the koala ones there, whatever. I forgot what they call them.
Yeah, I know. I don't like those. I don't think I like those.
No, Hello Panda.
Yeah, I don't think I like them.
No,
It's
they're
there's something about the chocolate in them that didn't sit
Oh.
well with me. Maybe.
Huh.
Yeah. Oh, those like I know you don't like diet sodas, but have you tried the polar grapefruit diet soda?
No,
It's actually if you've tried the orange one and like it, the grapefruit one's even better.
really?
Yeah, yeah.
I'll have to
because
try that.
because there's something about the tartness of the grapefruit if you like grapefruit
Yeah.
that covers up the sort of artificial sugar taste.
Oh.
It's good.
Huh.
So anyway, I think that's the podcast for today, and we're done for this recording. So
I think so.
yeah, so
Wow.
we'll see you soon.
Yes. Until next time, I'm photographer Sid Caesar
Designer Dave Seah.
and Eric Vaughn in our chat. Go visit his
Yeah.
website.
Give him a job.
Check him out. We'll link to all his stuff.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out with us, Eric, for the many hours we've been doing this. And music provided by Michael Ballar. Go visit him at michaelballar.com.
Give him your love.
Got to mention Kentakoga. Kentakoga.
Get to Koga. A man you should know.
Yes. And I'm going to sit here and continue eating these little Japanese erasers
All right.
that look like hamburgers.
Don't choke. I guess. So.
Eric's going to have to come down here so we can.
Yeah, yeah. We're gonna get.
I feel like now I
Podcast.
Now
Now you know him.
Now I know him.
Now he's
I've seen his
friends.
thing and he's been hanging out and chat with us.
Yep. Yep. All right.
Get your butt down here.
I need 10 seconds of silence. I use this to do a noise reduction. So like that's the noise print, and then it uses that to
Oh, okay.
remove
It samples all that.
Yeah, so then boosts the quality for the podcast. Yeah. That'll be good. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should do that. Like we were talking about that dinner thing, or you're like who was the dude, the director of
Jon Favreau.
John Favreau's dinner with
Dinner for five.
Yeah, did you see the table back there? Like I removed those table back here, so that single
Oh.
that could be a table for 3. Just put the cameras around it, and just we could have like a round table thing.
We should just
something.
push a couple of tables. We should totally
Yeah.
figure out how to suspend a couple of mics from the ceiling or something.
Yep.
Or just stick them right in the middle of the table and just like build the tables around the, like make a little square in the center.
Right.
And yeah, I'll let you borrow. I've got a second copy of the first season of that Dinner for Five. I'll let you borrow it. Just check them out. They're pretty cool.
Why is the level so low on this? I don't know what's going on with this.
It sounds good.
Yeah. I think this is streaming back into the. That's not pulling out of the. At least it's. I don't know, my voice levels are so low. It's kind of echoey. You have more compression. Yeah, I'll fix it. I'll fix it in post. All right.
Fix it in post.
So we're done here. Yes. Any
Cool.
other questions? So thanks, Eric and Kenta, for hanging out with us. And contributing to the energy level of the show.
Yes.
We're going to get you on the show sometime if you'd like to be here.
So here's we can ask them what they think. So here's one of the ideas that we've been bouncing around with. So the director, Jon Favreau, the guy that did Iron Man and stuff like that, he used to have a show called Dinner for Five, and it was like 5 seasons, and all it was 5 actors or people involved in the movie industry that would sit around a dinner table, and they would just record them eating dinner and talking shop about anything related to, the movie universe or whatever, anything. And I thought that would be a cool idea for like local photographers or local creatives.
Yeah.
And it's like you just get a couple of pizzas and you sit around a table and you mic the whole table.
Yeah.
So that it records everybody, and it's just, and you release them in like hour segments or something, and it's just we're hanging out and we're just talking about, it's like a candid thing. And I always get stressed out because it's like I don't want it to turn into like just a bunch of people bitching about stuff. But I don't think anybody else around here is doing something like that, and I think it would be really fascinating to just like, because like me and you, we've got a good rapport, and we can talk. But when you get like 5 people in there, there's a lot of different ideas and like people picking. I don't know.
How many people do we need, do you think?
I don't know. Like, I don't know.
So if we had, well, the last we did the interview with your friend Jane Button.
Yep.
So that's 3 people there.
Yep.
That's probably.
I feel like you got to have at least 4 or 5 to really start being able to bring in various experiences and
would there be a theme?
I don't know.
How does it work with this thing?
I don't know. That's
shoot the breeze?
I don't know. Yeah, he specifically, all of his episodes, usually the theme is the group of people have all worked in some way on this, like on a film together or something. Okay. So there's a little bit of history to them. So like, like when he did the movie Elf, he did an episode where it was, it was him and it was whatever that guy's name was with the curly hair, Will Ferrell and the girl there. And so usually there's something that sort of like the movies he's made in the past. It's, or, just like his director buddies. Or
how about, is there anyone at Red River that you know? Might be. Well, so like I guess we're thinking about what our overlapping connections are, or or if one of us is the host, like for example, if you're the host, then the connection could be something that you've worked with each of those individually. So that would be like Jeff Burkowski, maybe.
Yep.
That could be me. And you know way more people in the area than I do.
Right.
And
we could always brainstorm a list of people and then just sort of figure out how the net works. Because like Jeff is experienced in photography, but he's also experienced in design. So he could be in a group with design people, like.
Oh, right. Yeah. We can mix them up as being like Hollywood Squares. All right.
Or something.
Yeah. So maybe we can try it like in a small scale. Like there's 2 aspects. There's one, kind of figure out the format, and we can do a kind of a rough one first. And then there's also the technical thing of how to light and mic it.
Right.
That's the part. Do we know someone who does that stuff that we would get into?
Well, like Dan Young and because he does stuff for public access.
Yeah. So they could be the community access channel would be a good resource for just learning how to do that stuff.
Right.
Even maybe shooting it there might be a possibility. So
I don't know.
Yeah, because it could be a show that we do locally, but I would prefer to do it under our own control.
Yeah, I think we have the potential to get a little more candidly than maybe a public access show. Like I don't know if I'd want to.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Also, I'm not sure if they have the video streaming capturing stuff. It'd be cool if we could do it like this. Those seems to work okay.
Yeah.
If there's something that we could get is maybe borrow one of their HD cameras. So instead of using the DSLR and burning out my sensor, we will use
or
something
even
that's
if you
designed
just took these and just put them up in corners and angled them down a little. I mean, the video part doesn't have to be super.
Right. Well, the audio pickup is the difficult part. You see how close this thing has to be.
Right.
And so when you get something that has to be like, I guess it would be over our head.
Do they make cheap lav mics?
They do not make cheap lav. They make cheap lav mics, but they would not pick up audio in the.
Okay.
But we would have to have more outboard gear to be able to amplify it to the point.
Okay.
So my limit here is 4.
Okay.
So this is where we might borrow stuff, or Eric says introverts. Yes.
Yep.
It's something we'd figure out. Like I have enough gear to do it. If it's a relatively small area, I mean, we could hang these mics overhead.
Yeah.
So then they're just the camera's fixed view, and we have multiple camera stuff, and we can switch between 3 of them basically.
Right.
And that might be just enough to go, like, so we're on this camera, and then we're on this camera.
So you have to be this,
Or
so you have to be this close to these.
if I boost it a lot, and then if we're post-processing it,
Okay.
you might be able to bring it up. But there's other microphones. We would probably want to get like a shotgun mic or something like that.
Okay.
And the ones I'm eyeing are about $200-$300 a pop. So we'd want a couple of those. We figured out if we can get decent sound out of these. I really don't know how people do it. So Daniel would be a good resource because he's shot movie type stuff, so he knows the kind of audio that's the workflow with this. So it would be good to talk to him. I can ping him on the chat room and then see what's up with that.
And then when it gets really popular, we can do this in local restaurants and stuff.
When it gets really popular.
We can, like tonight we're at Michael Timothy's.
I mean, and what would we want to get out of this? Do we want to establish?
I don't know.
Establish a creative community based around these things.
I don't know. I don't know.
I just think it'd be cool.
I just think it would be kind of fun to get people together and
just do. It'll be a different kind of dinner party. It'll be something that people could share into. What I like about it is something that's sharing the kind of energy that we want.
Yeah.
That we want to pull people to. It's so difficult to just make a pamphlet and say this is going to be awesome. Yeah, but if people can actually see it, say that looks like it might be the sort of thing I want to go to.
Yeah,
it's self-selecting, and it also has some permanence to it, so people can find it and people can experience it, and maybe bring a little bit of joy into people's lives. Right. It's entertaining in some sense. Nice. I imagine anyone who's listening to our podcast,
all 3 people,
whatever it is, there might be something about it that they just enjoy hearing us talk, and I don't want to analyze it too much because
Right.
On the other hand, it might be good to figure out to do something on purpose, and have it become popular because it's good.
Right.
Yeah. So an acquaintance of mine, Aaron Mankey, he does this podcast called Lore, which is all over the place.
Yeah.
Right now, and so I know him from way back when he was just doing graphic design and then he started making these productivity forums, and he made these really nice index cards, and so. And I found out there was another person doing productivity tools on paper in the area. And my first instinct was what? But then I thought, this I didn't want to be the person who would be said the pie is small. I must cut off everyone from the pie and fight them and hold my secrets in because I just don't like that. So the attitude, I deliberately chose to choose I'm going to assume that we both want to grow the pie. So let me see if let's get together and see. Just talk about stuff. I'm pretty generous with what I'm doing, and he was generous as well. One thing that impressed me about him was he had a really incredible work ethic too.
Really?
Much better than mine. So he was writing. For one thing, he was working as a graphic designer. He was making these stationery products, but his real passion was writing books. So he had written these fiction books that were on Amazon. He had 5 or 6 of them. It's finished books. Self-published.
Wow.
But what he told me he really loved was world building. He loved building the worlds where they come up with the details and stuff like this. And his Lore podcast, I guess it's a horror podcast that's based on real events and things like that he's meticulously researched.
Huh.
And it's the number 1 or number 2 podcast.
Really?
It just had Amazon Prime just signed up for a season produced through a production company. They're doing a second season.
Whoa.
He's just released a bunch of a new podcast series with the How Stuff Works people.
Yeah.
So
wow.
So more power to him.
Just because he likes
he loves what he did, but he also has the work ethic to produce finished works of that appeal to people.
Yeah.
On a schedule.
Right.
Something that I'm terrible at.
Yeah. Right here.
So. And I mean, it'd be something that it'd be good. This is probably the first time we've actually done something that's kind of scheduled, as a group, or at least for us. I don't know about you, but So making these podcasts, 3 of them every time, and recording them just so we can kind of keep the pump prime.
The flow going.
Yeah, but we haven't really committed to, what do we want to get out of this? Is there something we want from this? Is there some desire that we have that doesn't feel like we're selling out or like being inauthentic?
Right.
And so, I think one of our shticks, if you were to describe it like that, would be to say that we want to be as real. We want to have real conversations. They may not always make sense to people, but we try to share what we're thinking. Maybe that's we share our thoughts. We share our loves for things. We share like our passions for stuff. We share our disdain for like Brotherhood of the Wolf, if that happens to exist.
Why? Why?
I mean, and it's okay. I mean, it's I mean, you don't, for some reason you don't like Hudson Hawk because you're insane.
Oh God!
Because that's an incredible movie. So anyway, I'm just rambling now. 5:20. You probably need to get home.
Yeah, I want to get home before the snow starts coming down.
Yeah. There's a user group meeting that I'm thinking of sitting out, but it's in about 6-70 minutes.
Is that online or is that?
No, it's actually like down near UU.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not that far.
Yeah. I just didn't want to sit through it.
And you're sick. You're still recovering from being sick. So
actually, no, I think I'm much better now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I could show off like the nails and like how they match this pen.
Oh,
so that would be the only reason to go. But
you didn't talk about your Lamy pen. So that was more purple than you were expecting, right?
Yeah. But I took the pen and then I brought it to Ulta and I looked at all the nail polishes so I could get something that's really close. And it's a pink. It writes in pink ink as well, which is what that is. So it's like the whole pink experience. The funny thing is, no one says anything about that. It's like I keep like so this is the first time I've done the whole hand.
Yep.
So this hand's still blank, but this hand, like I think someone's gonna say something at some point, like or punch me in the face or something. But no one's even like tried to punch me in the stomach or. The new thing was like I'm going to the gym now, so I'm thinking like I may wonder if someone was gonna say something or no, but it's just not that big of a deal.
Right.
I mean, like, unless someone was actually looking for trouble, I mean, it's nothing.
Right.
And that was like kind of a huge confidence booster, So if I can get away with this, I can put stuff on YouTube, or whatever.
That's right.
Yeah. You have earrings, right?
I have one.
Yeah.
I always forget that I have it.
Does it just stay in there all the time?
Yeah, I had taken it out. There was a few years I took it. No, I got it. I got it in my senior year of high school. I was like, I want an earring, damn it.
Like Christian Slater or something?
Shh. And, there was a couple of years, I don't even remember. I took it out and Sarah and I were in Portsmouth and I was just like, I want to buy a new earring. And Sarah was like, really? Mm-hmm. So I did.
Good for you.
And, I've had it for so long now. I don't even remember that it's in my ear,
At the time, was it kind of a big deal for you?
It was, I was a little,
Nervous
especially when you're in high school and everyone was just like, oh, you put it in your wrong ear, ha, ha, ha. And I'm like, I did not, shut up. Did I really put it behind my wrong ear? Yeah. But now, I mean, everybody has them. Mm-hmm. Most guys now have 2. Like, they've got 1 on each ear, like an matching set.
Oh, yeah. That would have been something back in the day, back in the 80s when Reagan was around.
Reaganomics.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I know. I can't believe how old we are.
It's shocking.
I'm going to be another year older in a couple of weeks.
Oh, really? What are we going to do to celebrate?
I don't know.
What do you even want? Like to?
I don't know.
It's hard to think about things to celebrate my birthday with. I mean, like I guess the TV, my 50th birthday, the TV was my.
Was that? It was your?
Yeah, so
that's a pretty damn good present.
Yeah. But then I also got myself a new PC, and there was no reason for that. And then I got those shelves, and I guess the whole idea is to make this into like the living room cafe, so I can have people over and stuff, and we can. I just need to start reaching out to people and just telling them, let's get together and make something.
Yeah,
make something. In the meantime, it serves as a fairly decent set for the live stream stuff. Oh, I still had to do a live stream today for the for my What's Up, Dave.
What's up, Dave?
Yeah, I need to think of a better name for that.
What's up?
Bad at names.
We haven't even come up with a name for this.
We could call it the Unnamed Creative Podcast, and that would be slightly better. Although we never.
We could have asked Eric.
Yeah. Introverts of the Round Table.
There's
There's our name of our new podcast.
There's our new podcast. This
Introverts
is
of
no
the
longer
Round
the
Table.
unnamed podcast. It is now going to be Introverts of the Round Table. IRT. ERT.
ERT. Yeah. And we can make ERT pens.
Yes.
Or pins, I mean.
And our fans could be ERTers.
They could be ERTed.
ERTs.
And the Introverts of the Round Table. We need to make a like a badge or something like that, like a pin, like a button, like yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, let's say Eric.
He's going to leave.
Yeah.
Daughter's concert coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you for sticking around for as long as you did.
Yeah, we're gonna cut this off. So thanks for watching the stream, guys. And gals, if anyone's watching this at all. We will post this in the podcast playlist on my YouTube channel, and Sid will write the show notes, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you like watching videos?
I like skipping through them, yeah.
Skipping through them, and then I'll figure out what notes to put in them.
Yeah.
Not that many this time, so it's
I think the first couple ones are just
mentioning
games
movies.
and movies. Yeah, I'll try to link to
And then
most of them.
And then there's stuff for your Instagram stuff.
Oh, yeah, the
Links to
pictures
that.
from the Instagram, right.
I don't think there's anything to link with my stuff.
We'll find out.
Yeah, well, the Groundhog Day resolutions posts, like you can point that, or the recent blogs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But just my website, that'd be fine. All right, so bye. See you in 3 or 4 weeks when we do these again.
That's right.
All right, bye.
Bye. Dun, 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 dun.
Da, 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 da.
Awesome.
Just wait for that to catch up with it, then I stop the stream so it doesn't get truncated
Uh,
at the end.
Trunkinated.